Go, I've just hit go live, so part 2 should now be live on YouTube. Let me just double check that. Sanity check, we'll call that, because technology.
We've been there. Yes, the stream is indeed live. Now, for the people that are still in here, this stream is gonna shut down any moment now. So I would really appreciate it if you guys could head over to the part 2 of this stream, where they will be finishing off the rest of the race. There's 3 hours left. I think you guys are gonna have an absolute blast. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for listening to me. Having to deal with me is never an easy task, is it? My name is Ricky from RC Broadcasting. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm sure that the two lads in here will absolutely smash it as well. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys all so much, and good luck to the two lads finishing off the rest of it here. This stream will go offline, and I hope to see you guys in part number 2.
There we go then, and we are live on part 2 again. Huge thanks to Ricky, a phenomenal job he's done bringing us the opening of the race. I've pushed the wrong button there. Bringing us the qualifying and of course the race. So far we are well into the FRL Endurance Series. Of course, a series of individual races, but there is one of the world famous James Williams spreadsheets in the background. But again, Ricky, thank you very much for all your efforts, and we will see you again on FRL once again very soon, I'm sure.
Yes, next Tuesday, FRL BTCC at rFactor 2. I hope to see you guys there, and let's have a good commentary. I'm sure you guys will smash it. See you guys around.
Thanks very much, Ricky. So there we go.
Thank you, Ricky.
Ricky from DC taking his leave, as it is myself and the one and only Sean Madden, of course, back on an FRL broadcast. It almost feels like coming home for him. I'm sure it's Watkins, Glen, it's FRL, Sean. We've got 3 hours left of a phenomenally close series. Let's bring it on.
Indeed, yes. Really looking forward to this, and bring on the drama.
Indeed, indeed. At the moment, it is Vestas Sports who are at the top of the James Williams spreadsheet. They are leading the way. It is Mattia Nachira, though, for Flat Out Esport in second place at the moment, with Beach Team AMR. Relatively new to the series. They're fairly making an impact, though. The Keys are up in 3rd position at the halfway mark and looking to make his way past, I believe it is a QRT car just in front. Castellano for Vestas Sport making it 2 in the top 5 for the championship dominating teams. And championship hosts have Vincenzo Senatore to thank for 5th position at the moment. Behind him is Justin De Jong in Gazelle Motorsports Mercedes. I am unapologetically going to jump into chase cam, because what an engine sound that is. We've got in 7th position QRT Daniel Plowitz behind the wheel of their BMW. Some cars coming into the pit, so movers and shakers as Casper Duvaloy finds himself in 9th position for Gazelle Motorsport. And then it is Rafa Campos for Team FRL, and he's actually got a post looking to unlap himself at the moment. Oh sorry, he's just lapped. My apologies. Aston Martin rounding out the top 10. It's Yannick Plus, MSR Esports. We heard about an Aston Martin dropping down the order a bit. I think this might be the one, because I wouldn't expect Plus and the gang to be outside the top 10. Let's see how that goes for the rest of the race. We've got Forbes behind the wheel for Assetto Team Racing in 12th, and Advisor Manuel Novak. And that has just dawned as me. Sorry, Sean. That just dawned on me as he popped that message in. So let me just do my due diligence so my co-commentator actually knows what's going on. There we go. Ever the professional. It's been a day for it. Let's not go there. We've got Manuel Novak in 13th, and Alex Zakdal up into 14th position, as Ricky has mentioned, and as I'm sure you all have seen, tumbled down the order in the Honda, and find themselves holder of the fastest lap and the attentions of quite a few cars on the track as they zip on past Lucas Van Dam. Not quite as good at martial arts as his big brother, but he's certainly not bad behind the wheel of a BMW, the Gazelle Motorsport car, in 15th place. I'm glad somebody got that. Laroque for TSE in 16th position, and Vergao for NT Motorsports in 17th. It is Keith Lars who is in Gazelle Motorsports' third car. That is some dedication from the team. And Henry Handy, the battle that Ricky alluded to just before we joined, the one he was watching, is still looking to press that issue. We'll keep a look at them on the way into the 90, where he keeps it in check, looks for a good exit. We'll continue to run down the order as these two continue to tango. David Monsu for FMP Italia. The McLaren rounding out the top 20. McKeon Cox for Astro Team Racing in 21st. Blagov for Team More Black in 22nd position. It is then Tom Brunel, of course, one of the organisers at FRL, in the Long Smile Racing car. What a livery that is. In 23rd position, and Youssef Abu Said has just handed the wheel over to Maurizio Messina for Conquest Racing, but they are still stationary in the pits. At the moment, Ricky did mention that the leaders, not many battles going on, but as I'm sure Sean will testify, it's not just about the battles for... Oh, that's a big wiggle from the Gazelle Motorsport car. How has he kept that BMW in check up the hill? That is a save.
Yes, well, John, I was just about to get onto my point there, that it's not always about battling. It's all about trying to be consistent, try not to lose any time, and yeah, that was a testament of that driver there with that little wiggle where doesn't want to be doing that too many times, I assure you.
No, and again, I was going to say as well, Sean, it's not just the battle for position, the blue flags as well. A race as long as this on a course as short as this, and I'm going to be interrupted because the top 10 driver has just picked up a stop go 32nd for speeding in the pit lane. It's Vestas Sport. It's Christian Romano. Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe wishing he stuck to the microphone today. Stop go 32nd penalty just as cars come past. It's an interesting position, because that's fourth. Just as we're talking about blue flags, there's 11th place comes out with the stop go 32nd. This fourth goes past, and that is the Adweiser car looking to unlap itself as well, Sean. And they might not be battling for position, but the driver's got to be on the ball right now.
Yes, indeed, and you know, it's not really so. It's different rules when it comes to GT3 cars, isn't it? So, in terms of the blue flags, of course, at some point, the driver getting lapped does need to step aside in a safe place, but they don't necessarily have to, you know, give up the position so easily. So it is up to the overtaking car to get around him safely, and you know, hence costing a little bit of time, especially when the two overtaking cars are battling for position. So yeah, we don't hope for any accidents or anything like that, but certainly does provide a bit of a smile to my face to see if there's any drama that could unfold.
Indeed, yeah, and it does often separate the teams that win these events and the teams that don't. It's how they interact with the blue flag traffic, and just as we've said that, they've both come into the pits. So Senatori's come into the pits from fourth. He's been followed in by Romano, keen to get that stop go 32nd out of the way. And Sean, another quick thing to pick up on as well, this is going to be a massively detrimental penalty for Romano, because he's only just come out the pits. He's got a 22-degree track temperature, and we yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To be an ACC driver, you need to be a race engineer. Getting your tyres into that PSI is so far beyond critical. It needs to be the main focus of your thinking sometimes. And for something like this really does give Romano a bit of a headache, getting those tyres into the right PSI. Now they're going to be colder than when he left the pits, and he's got a full tank of fuel on board on a cold track.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the drivers do it, to be honest. In my own experience of driving, which is nothing on these drivers, we do know that the PSI range for optimal tyre temperatures and grip is something like 3 PSI, I believe, between sort of 27 and 30 PSI. So no, sorry, between sorry, I said that completely wrong. 26.7 to 27.0, so 0.3 of a PSI. Which is absolutely nothing, John, and with an ever evolving track warmth or cool down, should we say, it's almost impossible to get them to the absolute optimal temperature.
Yeah, it really is a juggling act trying to find where you have which setting gives you the optimum PSI for the longest part of the lap, because as you just said, it's nigh on impossible, especially say someplace like Spa. You just can't do it because of the Keppel Straight and stuff, because of the way the tyres cool down. So you try and find that balancing act of, right, okay, my tyres are going to be hot or cold at certain points, but as long as they're in the range for as much of the track as I can possibly get them, we'll just kind of soldier on, and that's definitely what a few of them are going to have to be doing. And certainly Romano, I think we're going to see a bit of a drop off on his time. He's going to take an extra few hundred yards around the track to get his tyres back to the temperature he's looking at. That's not going to be an easy task. We're currently on board with Benjamin Eck in the BMW. He's got a Mercedes and a Ferrari just ahead of him. The Aston Martin, Mercedes and Aston Martin. Aston Martin is about to be lapped actually, so that is not Castellano in the Ferrari. He is still a fair bit up the road, but still the BMW and the Mercedes, an interesting proposition around Watkins Glen. Really, yeah, that is an incredible track. So many potential overtaking opportunities, and so many corners like this through this chicane, where absolute commitment on these curbs is required every single lap if you want to be even remotely competitive. And again, George, sorry, I'm just so used to having George beside me, Sean, sorry. But I would take that as a massive compliment.
I will take that as a compliment.
You'll know yourself that is an absolute, obviously you're a much quicker driver than me, you've raced in leagues and stuff. You'll know as well, you need to be on a knife edge to do well around tracks. You take 10% off of your quality pace to make it to the end, of course, but on tracks like this with these wide curves, so inviting but so easy as well to just pop slightly over that knife edge and make a mistake. So it's one of these tracks that really can ruin your day, but when you're getting it right lap after lap, it really does bring a whole lot of exhilaration. So it really very much is a track of extremes, and it's only about 1 minute 30 long. It's an incredible track as Watkins Glen.
Yeah, 100%. It's certainly a track that I've always enjoyed, and as you said, it's kind of like a risk-reward type of circuit. When you're absolutely nailing it around the lap here at Watkins Glen, it feels absolutely amazing, but it's very, very easy to make a mistake, and it can prove to be very, very costly. As we're going up the hill right now, we coming up to the inner loop, and certainly if you get on the brakes and take very, very nice through there, very, very smooth through the exit there, but if you take the curb a little bit wrong at a completely different angle, it can send you into the barrier, and of course with heavy damage, and I mean, you don't want to be doing that at all. That will completely ruin your race. So you have to have in mind that you are driving at a fast pace, but then at the same time you kind of want to be consistent as well and make sure you're not losing any time at all, really.
Yeah, and it's the damage as well. I'm going to touch on this point because it does get overlooked. Oh, and I've got the wrong chart up. I'll bring that up in a moment. But yeah, the Watkins Glen pit lane. Sorry, give me a second. I've lost my updated sheet. Okay, 64 seconds. So it's one of the most unforgiving pit lanes on the GT3 calendar compared to the length of the lap. You're actually better getting a drive-through at Spa than you are at Watkins Glen. It's insane. I know people are going to have me checked. Yeah, let's get this gentleman checked into some kind of facility and get his brain looked at. But no, Watkins Glen with over 64 seconds in the pits, and it being such a short lap. It's well over half a lap.
And not just that, John. Not just that either. It's the entrance. Someone spinning in the background.
Let's get a replay, Sean. This FMP Italia, David Monceau. Oh, he's going up the hill through the boot complex, Sean, and we know how easy it is to get this wrong.
Oh, indeed, yes. Oh, yeah, that's a little bit nasty.
Lift off oversteer on the way into the corner, just came off the brakes a bit too quick as he pointed the nose in, and that's absolutely hemorrhaged Monceau some positions there, and trying to get up and running. Again, I already mentioned the blue flags, trying to get up and running again when you've got such a tight track with so much traffic. Even with half a dozen cars in the pits at the moment, Monceau found himself giving up even more time, safely rejoining the race and not ruining anyone else's, which is absolutely commendable, but it does not come without its downfalls. And yeah, it's amazing how these mistakes can snowball very quickly, Sean. You have a bit of an off, you spin, and then suddenly 3-4 cars are coming past, you're trying to get up to speed, and it just, yeah, that's another second lost.
Yes, indeed. I'm very much one of these people that would rather lose like half a second a lap than be completely full send every lap, and then you have that lap where just disaster unfolds and you hit a wall, and not only is the car going to be slower and a lot more difficult to control, but you've also lost like 20 seconds as well, you know. So it's very much it's a very divisive subject really of how to really drive around this type of circuit, but yeah, unfortunately for that driver, yeah, just got it slightly wrong and he's paying for it.
On you go, Sean.
Sorry, John. I was just about to mention as well, because as Barbary, I hope I said
Barbary. Yeah.
Barbary, there we go. Barbary leaving the pits there. I was just going to get on the subject of the entrance of the pit lane, which is why you do lose a fair amount of time. It's very, very tight going into the final corner. Of course, you have to keep to the inside line, and if you do cross the lines, of course, that is a penalty, isn't it? So it's certainly one of the pit entrances that I really hate, to be honest, John.
It's a difficult one, yeah. It's not quite a double chicane at Bathurst.
No.
It's most definitely not a Silverstone. I think it's safe to say.
Yes.
Yeah, and it just so many little nuances in this track that just make you absolutely love it. There's so much that can kill you, but as we've already mentioned, I hope you can hear the smile on my face. I love driving around this course. It is absolutely incredible. Of course, if you want to make your driving experience around here, he's going up the hill, he's going to be nose to tail. We're going to see him move into the inner loop, no doubt. We're going to jump on the helicam where there's no trees to obstruct the view. The BMW looking very quick behind the Mercedes. He's going to try for the outside line. The Mercedes hasn't made a defensive move yet. Now he moves over, and the BMW is staying out of the slipstream, so didn't fancy it through the inner loop. Can't say I'm massively surprised. That's why these drivers do well at the top, and I usually end up down at the back. But yeah, good move there. Of course, the series is being sponsored by Coach Dave Delta. The Pro Am race winning teams will receive Coach Dave Delta 1 month subscriptions, including setups and the Never Lift coaching course. That is the name of the coaching course. That isn't a guarantee that you will never have to lift on a race course. But thank you very much to Coach Dave and the team for sponsoring. Of course, Coach Dave Delta, get yourself signed up, get the access to the data you need to find those crucial tenths of a second, and more importantly, could you help with your consistency? With consistency comes pace. This is from the guy that went from doing 2-minute ones at the Nürburgring to 1 minute 54s. Thanks to just a little bit of patience. So yeah, jump over to Coach Dave Delta and support an organisation which has, quite frankly, revolutionised sim racing. We can't say it, that Coach Dave, SimGrid, everything they've done has been just so good for sim racing. So yeah, go over and support them, and they are supporting the drivers with prizes. Right, enough of me gushing about my fandom of one of the fastest drivers around Spa in a Ferrari, Mr. David Perel. Absolutely nothing to do with it, of course. His pace in the Ferrari. Barbary up at the front. He has got one of the two at the moment. The fastest lap, Sean, is still sitting with the Honda. No traction control under 50 kph, but Barbary, he's got that consistency. He is keeping his laps to within a few tenths of a second, lap on lap. Absolutely stunning work, and he's maintaining that gap up the front. The cheer is definitely coming knocking. He's got the gap just under 11 seconds. But if you're Barbary in the Vesta Sport team, you're feeling pretty good right now with Barbary behind the wheel.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, very, very consistent, and just not really opening the door for the cheerer to make a bit of a fight back, to be honest. Yeah, very, very consistent. 1 minute 44.562 was his previous lap time there. So yeah, just keep it consistent, and perhaps he will come home with the victory. Although 2 hours and 38 minutes to go, so a long way to go, of course.
Indeed, especially around this track. I was just about to I was going to say, we've seen that's the FMP Italia car we saw have a moment not too long ago. I did wonder if it could somehow use the blue flag to his advantage, the FMP Italia car. No thanks very much to David Monsu. I'm going to let you two crack on, and I'm going to worry about my old race. That's exactly what he's done. And at this point, it's a game of chess between Eck and Betten, the Mercedes and the BMW. Slightly different strengths and weaknesses at different parts of the course, and it's all on, as you mentioned, it's all on Benjamin Eck to get that overtake done, and he is just going to be sizing up opportunities. He's going to be trying to force a mistake perhaps out of Eck. Beat him. We've seen a couple of tail end slides from both of the cars, but yeah, fascinating little game of chess between two. They definitely look different, but yeah, definite similarities between the way they handle, but still those little differences at different parts of the track, Sean.
Yes, and it did look like Eck actually got a really good exit out of toe there as well. But of course, these are not the easiest of corners to make overtakes. He really needs to get as close to the back bumper of Betten once we come over the start-finish line to perhaps make the move at turn 1. But that is, of course, John, that is no easy feat.
No, getting it done through the 90 is definitely not for the faint of heart, especially if you're keen on keeping it between the mayo and the mustard and not violating the track limits. Up the hill as well, though, it is the first couple of times you drive this track, you think to yourself, oh yeah, you could maybe go side by side up the hill. Aha, I can't even say that with a straight face. Not the easiest thing to do. You have to be absolutely on the steering up here because of the camber of the track. You can just see the camber changes, Sean, and you know yourself, camber changes, they really can be the killers. When you're going up that hill side by side, there's millimetres of clearance.
Well, I was going to mention balls of steel. I don't know if it's too early in the day to come out of a phrase like that. But
testicular fortitude.
But yeah, certainly you have to be pinpoint, I would say, in terms of your steering, keeping it away from your opponent and keeping it away from the barriers as well. So yeah, very interesting battle between the two of them, but there does seem to be a couple of battles progressing right now, John.
Yeah, there is indeed. Yeah, I'm just on board with Cody Besselink for the Astro Racing team. He is giving Sven Corvig a bit of a wave in the rear view mirror that we can't see because that spoiler cam is not the best. So, if we jump onto that one for Besselink, there we go. I am slightly obsessed with the front right tyre cam. My apologies. It does look very good when you get a good look at the track and the action. And into the 90. Besselink certainly doing a bit of running. He has Corving, but oh no, sorry, 46.8 on his last lap. So I think he made an overtake on that last lap as well to get himself up. He's got Christian Romano behind him. Oh no, so he didn't get an overtake. So he did actually lose a bit of time with Corvig on that last lap. I wonder if he tried an overtake. Let's see if Benjamin Eck is trying an overtake. Okay. Lap after lap after lap, he is just lurking. And there will come a point, Sean, where you think to yourself, you know what, we are absolutely matched for pace. My best bet here is just to absolutely hover on the rear spoiler and see if he makes a mistake and I can slide on through, because at the moment Beaton is doing a phenomenal job of putting the car exactly where he needs to, when he needs to, perfectly safely, beautiful defending, and Eck just can't get side by side.
No, indeed. I think the secret is not to look in your mirrors. You know, just keep focusing forward, concentrate on what you need to do, and hope that Eck doesn't send it on a turn. But yeah, Eck is looking very, very competitive, and yeah, that will be his goal is just to really upset the apple cart, really, and you know, hope that Betten makes a mistake.
Indeed, yeah, but Betten is looking the two of them full. I love this race course. I'll be straight on here on the Ferrari as soon as the race is finished. Mattia Nachira. Race definitely not finished for our Italian driver for Flat Out Esport. He is going flat out. He's just on a 1 minute 43.9 to set his own team's best lap of the race. I couldn't have stumbled over that any harder. But yeah, Nachira, 1 minute 43.9, promoting him to the fastest driver on track by 0.3 of a second actually, because De Keyser for Beach Dean AMR. I do recognise that livery. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely seen them race before. I'm not 100% sure it was in the series, but I've definitely presided over the team before. But the Keyser is only 0.3 slower than the Nachira. Castellano with a white flag. Okay, he's going past some traffic at the minute. Big lift. There we go.
Yep.
And that is, yeah, beautifully done. And that's then Braber in 10th. Leader in the AM. Sorry, yeah, we should give that a proper mention. Motorsport, they do have 3 cars in the top 10. One of them is the AM leader. Patrick Den Braber is behind the wheel at the moment. They are first in the AMs. It's Jim Emanuelson for MT Motorsport. I feel like I missed them in the rundown. How did I miss a Ferrari? But MT in second and De Munich in third place on the podium. So Team Gazelle, Sean, 2 cars on the AM podium and 3 cars in the overall top 10. The Gazelle is sprinting hard in this one, and the team, I don't imagine, could be much happier at this point.
Absolutely. Particularly Den Braber as well, who, you know, overall P9, which is a fantastic achievement, and looking certainly more like a pro than an AM driver, that is for certain. But yeah, absolute fantastic job from the team, and all I can really say is keep it up, and as any driver around this particular circuit, and we've seen lots of evidence that mistakes can be aplenty if you're not at full concentration. So, but yeah, fantastic job from him so far, John.
Indeed, yeah, fantastic job from Christian Romano as well. Served the stop with 30-second penalty on his out lap. He's not only got those tyres back working for him, he's got potential overtakes in the offing. It's Cody Besselink who looked like he was going to be the one doing the overtaking on Corvin. Corvin has extricated himself from the situation. He's gone for it up the inside. Sean, brave move.
I thought there was a tiny bit of contact, to be honest. It may be the tiniest of jolts as we look back on the replay now. It was a very, very late send. Maybe got caught out in the braking. As we look on board with him now. So yeah, he got very, very close to the McLaren driver in front. I don't know. Perhaps he just skimmed the rear bumper of the McLaren, maybe, John?
Yeah, there could have been a slight contact. There could have been the McLaren steering out the way. Yeah, it could have just been aerodynamics, but yeah, there could have been a slight graze there. Both cars keep it out with ball, but Romano certainly not wasting any time getting that overtake done. Besselink will do well if he keeps in the slipstream here. Actually, he could find himself closing the gap with Romano on Corvin, who is now the driver ahead. You can see he's not too far ahead. They are definitely within sight. Benjamin Eck is still in sight of John Betton. What a drive these two. They're going to have separation anxiety come the end of the race, Sean, and we're coming up to more blue flag traffic. We could maybe take clips of these two and put them on YouTube as a masterclass of how to endurance race, because yeah, what a battle these two are having for 5th position, and both of them absolute gentleman racers at this point. There's no quarter given nor asked, but there's certainly no sense whatsoever there's going to be any type of impropriety from either driver. They're both here to either win it or bin it.
Yes, indeed. You can see that, of course, both of them being very competitive and not trying to give an inch, but at the same time full of respect. And of course, this is very, very important. There's a little bit of sideways action from Betton. Gets fully on the defensive. Eck not being able to capitalise on that slight mistake from the Mercedes driver, but he's going to have a good run down the start-finish line to turn 1, and Eck has got the inside line. Surely he's going to take that position away from Betton, and yes, indeed he does, up into P5. Of course, though, Betton is not done here because we're going up the hill, and he's got that slipstream as well. So could there be another late move and a long old switcheroo, John?
Yeah, but certainly looking that way. Phenomenal stuff through turn number 1. We did say earlier, not an easy place to get an overtake done. You need two good drivers, and we have just seen two good drivers go through there. And it is Benjamin Eck who's come out on top. And he's timed it absolutely perfectly. They may have more traffic ahead of him, but right behind John Beaton is the fastest car on the track. It's Alex Zagdal in the Honda, looking to unlap him. Oh no, yeah, he's looking to unlap himself. My apologies. Yep, got a bit excited. It's Besselink he's looking to catch up to, and that's the other interesting part of this equation. It is Cody Besselink that's at the front of this train. Oh, they're going side by side up the hill. We've already very easy to get an unstable car on the way up. The Honda looking to get the overtake while he gets an unlap as well. John Beaton now finds himself in a whole world of 3 wide hurt potentially. No, he lets the Honda go up the inside, follows him through. So what a move by Alex Zagdal there. Gets the position, unlaps himself.
Absolute madness, John.
That's why they're at the top of the field with purple tag next to their name, and why we're sat here with a cup of tea, slack-jawed, admiring the craftsmanship. And that was absolute craftsmanship. Not to labour the point I made not too long ago, but interacting with blue flag traffic, it can definitely separate the top teams from the teams that don't finish in the top 10. And that is Alex Zagdal exactly showing how it's done. Give me a bit of that double slipstream, and he's absolutely going to take John Beaton, going to take Benjamin Eck as well, his teammate. And I think is, oh no, and John Beaton, he's been left a bit behind there, so it's worked well for Benjamin Eck, and after all that hard work, John Beaton now finds himself left behind. And the irony is, if Eck lets the Honda through at the right point, he's going to get the slipstream, Sean, and Beaton, all that hard work is going to disappear off into the distance.
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel for Beaton, because this is what happens in racing sometimes. You know, fortune does favour the brave, I would say, and Eck took full advantage, and is certainly playing the smart game here. And yeah, we'll see. Oh, yep, there we go. The Honda driver up the inside, it looks like. So it looks like it is playing out how you said, John.
Exactly, he's let him out and he's popped right back into the slipstream. Beaton has managed to close the gap slightly, so he might hang on into the 90. That's going to be crucial to catching up. We've got a proper look at exactly the times they come round the last corner and almost graze the wall. Oh, actually, quite a bit of distance between the wall. Usually there's wing mirrors disappearing to get themselves that close. Oh, Beaton is just about hanging in there. Is he going to be able to bring this one back and get re-engaged with the fight? Alex Zagdal is done and dusted with this one, and he is, as the Foo Fighter would say, done, on to the next one. And he'll be looking to unlap himself. Oh, it's Christian Romano next. Who's here we go. So he's got Christian Romano for position, who is closing in on Sven Corving, who's in the Aston, so terrible rear wing camera, which I do keep forgetting, so let us gratuitously use the front right of Romano's Vesta Sport Ferrari. Oh, down the hill they go. I have been told by very reliable sources that curve there is actually very, very correct, and it is one of the most correct representations of said curve out of all of the simulation games. Definitely has a dip there rather than the raised that you get on a lot of them, and you can see the drivers really do lean into that. But it is another part of the course where you can't be leaning into it too hard, because Watkins Glen, as beautiful it is, it bites just as hard as any track out there. Up into the penultimate couple of corners, and it is Romano definitely closing in on Corving. That gap we can see now down to 0.7 of a second. Zagdal finding about a tenth on Romano. So I think Romano is going to need to get this overtake done pretty quickly, Sean, because he's going to want to put Corving between him and Zagdal as soon as possible, because Zagdal has taken another 0.7 out of the gap between those two.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, Zagdal very consistent in his times. He's hitting low 1:44s, whilst Romano is hitting mid 1:45. So it's looking ominous, to be honest, John. But you know, catching him is one thing. He still does need to get past him, and I'm sure Romano won't make it easy for Zagdal to make the pass. But we'll see how it transpires, because certainly if he can close the gap through this turn here and then up to toe, he may get a good run. Let's find out.
Especially if Aston goes a bit deep there when they get to the bottom of the hill. That wasn't the optimum line. Here comes the Honda. It's always been a big problem of mine when I'm racing. If someone gets close to me, I'm more than happy to give them an awkward attempt at an overtake rather than just going full defend. Whereas drivers at the sharp end of the grid. Oh wow, Romano so much later on the brakes. The Ferrari really gripping into that tarmac. And this is the complete opposite of what Romano wanted, because that's a Honda. I know you couldn't see that because the badge had disappeared into the back of the Ferrari, but that's definitely a Honda. It's the fastest car on track, and it is Alex Zagdal who is absolutely flying through the field, and this is not what Romano wanted. It's not particularly what Zagdal wanted. He's almost got to try a double overtake into the 90s, positioning, and Romano holds the faster line, so he is going to pull away when they get up the hill, but the Honda is pretty decent in a straight line, and it's got a bit of top speed about it, in case you didn't know, as they head up through the hill. Oh, the camber again, it's, phenomenal stuff, Sean, sorry.
No, I was just about to say that this is where the Ferrari is at its weaknesses, is down the straights and not really having the best of sixth gears, and yeah, certainly with the Honda being very strong down the straights, it's a bit of a mismatch, to be honest. It is lucky that Romano has got the slipstream to the car in front in P10, which is Corvin, of course, trying to stick to him like glue. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting one here, because it could be 2 for 1 here for Zach Dow. And now, oh yeah, gets a very good exit actually, Zach Dow. And pulling over to the side is Romano, defending for his life. Zach Dow's going to go around the outside. He's not going to quite make it work though. That's good defending from Romano, and of course, nice switch. Oh, there's a bit of contact. They both spin. Romano looks like he just about keeps it on, and Zach Dow's the one that's lost out there, and he's into the barrier, John.
Yes, he is indeed. Bit of contact up the hill there. The BMW unlaps itself again. Alex Zagdal's got to hold his brakes until the rest of the cars go past. Let's have another look at that one. So yeah, he comes right back at him. He's got the wider line, so Romano cleverly takes the defensive line, but obviously with being on the wider line, he's got more acceleration on the steers. I'll need to look at that one. Was there enough room on the inside? And it's the BMW coming through that makes the second contact that spins the Honda of Alex Zagdal. That puts him back down to 14th position behind Fabian Karner, and that BMW, I believe, was Benjamin Eck in 5th position. So let me just see if I can confirm that. Yes, it is. So here is what Benjamin Eck could see. So he came around the corner, these two have made contact, the Honda has bounced, and he's just held his line because he's got a car on the right and a car on the left. So hold the middle line, what can you do? The Honda's bounced back, and Benjamin Eck has, inadvertently popped the Honda into the wall. Blue flags can bring joy, blue flags can bring heartache, overtaking action. Never the easiest thing to do. Plenty of opportunities. Actually pulling them off can definitely be difficult, and it's a whole new challenge then. It's not a new challenge. It is the same challenge restarted. Zagdal in 14th position. But he does have the added benefit of having Karner and Besselink, former teammates, battling ahead of him. He's got 8 seconds to make back up to them, but they've only got 0.6 of a second between them. And that Porsche is moving at quite the clip. The Assetto car moving over to shake off the slipstream. I don't think Fabian particularly interested in the slipstream. He's just going to stick to the racing line. Oh, and that's wide of the corner. He's not going to have the same grip on the exit going up the hill. Is it going to be side by side, or is Karner going to wait until they're going through? Are going to be all going along the back straight into? No, they're going to go side by side. No, they're not. He's going to fall back into the slipstream. He's surely going to try something on the way into the inner loop. Can he get it done? Porsche versus McLaren in a straight line usually only ends one way, but it was a good run up the hill from Fabian Karner. Not quite good enough though. Cody Besselink, Sean, is on absolute high alert. His heart rate is probably somewhere about 200 beats a minute at the moment. He's trying to calm himself down and fend off this Porsche, because what we saw along that back straight is not something you would usually expect for a McLaren versus a Porsche. The Porsche absolutely kept up there.
Yeah, indeed. The Porsche driver definitely flying right now, and didn't get the best exit, unfortunately, out of tow as we go down the boot now. He will get pulled along slightly, but feel like it was a missed opportunity, even though the McLaren driver going a little bit wide out of hill. Unfortunately, Karma has had to back out. There was no space for him to go around the outside or the inside for that matter. So he's going to have to be a little bit more patient and hope that he can force an opportunity home. But as we start the next lap, if he's smart about this, he shows an eye down the inside, thinks better of it, but of course he's got the slipstream now, John, going up the hill.
He does indeed, yeah, and he's going to be looking to take advantage. Oh, it looks like he's got a big burst of pace. I'm not sure if the McLaren had a bit of an issue with the grip, and that is going to be much easier work for Fabian Carner than he or I anticipate. Oh, and he pulls right over to instantly take the in. McLaren tries to find room on the outside through the inner loop. And on the way out, and yeah, Fabian Carner getting that done, as I say, a bit easier than he would have anticipated. The minorest loss, lack of grip up that hill there, and that has seen the McLaren flailing and Advisor up to 12th position. So great drive by Carner there. Definitely didn't take as long as he thought it was going to, that is for absolutely sure. Carlo Barberi still comfortably leading the way, but the gap is now down to 8.1 seconds. So Nachira has consistently been chipping away here. We've got a couple of seconds off the time since they've come back out of the pits. De Keyser in Aston Martin still in 4th place for Beechdean, AMR and Castellano. Oh no, sorry, De Keyser's in 3rd. Castellano is in 4th place, and Benjamin Eck still holding on to 5th position. We did get an update in the chat. Eck caught Zakdal. The two of them are best mates. Yeah, makes it just that little bit more heartbreaking, Sean. When it's even when you're watching your mate battle away, you come round the corner, he's suddenly sideways. You give him that little bit of tap, and
it was so unlucky to be honest. Yeah,
Murphy's
so unlucky. I mean, Zakdal was a little bit out of control, and Eck had the overspeed and not much track space, unfortunately. And it's just one of the things, unfortunately, John.
Yeah, it really is. It does happen, and yeah, Murphy's Law. It's always going to be your best mate you catch. You can pretty much guarantee it. Barberi finding half a second actually through that sector. So yeah, managing the gap well. Still going slightly in Nachira's favour overall over the stint, but certainly not out of. Certainly not being massively overmatched for lap times up at the front. So he'll do well to hold on to this, and certainly with Alex Zakdal now involved with more traffic, it's going to be a while before he makes a charge into the top 10, I would think. There's one Ferrari quickly getting out of the way. He's got Cody Besseling back ahead of him, so he's going to be trying to get that overtake done again. It's going to be a whole lot of deja vu for Zakdal for the next few stints, I think. Christian Romano still just outside the top 10. He's now got 4 seconds separating him from Corving, who I'm sure will be eternally grateful he managed to make it through there. That is Den Braber, sorry. That is Corving, who is just behind the AM leader, who's still very comfortably holding that 9th place. Sitting inside the top 10, got his teammate in the Mercedes, John Betton, about to put a lap up on him, but still that is quite the run. Tom Brunel into the pits. Oh, that's a bit of damage on the Lexus. Oh, and it looks like he's already got damage. Okay, so there was an incident. Oh yeah, there was an incident a bit earlier. They've picked up the damage quite some time ago. I don't know why that would be a yellow flag on the telemetry. Absolutely been thrown under the bus there, Sean. Let's see if we can look at it from here.
Looks like it just pulls out of that, yeah.
moves out of the way, then goes into the other loop. Maybe not carry as much speed. Okay, so I'm not sure. Yeah, a couple of incidents have registered. Let's not go through them all just in case. But yeah, Brunel certainly carrying a bit of damage there in the long smile Lexus. That has been promptly repaired. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be in a damaged car in any race, let alone around here. Zakdal has once again caught up to Cody Besselink.
I've got to say, John, it's very, very impressive from Zakdal, because of course he's going to have a little bit of damage, and as you know, John, like even the smallest of contacts makes a big difference to these cars in both handling and top speed as well. So for him to be still catching the pack is, as I say, it's no easy feat, and he's making it look easy.
Yeah, he really is. Someone in the chat did say, Mike Tom and the Pink Beast. Yeah, Zakdal and the Honda are a match made in heaven, and yeah, maybe for us viewers it is, and the rest of his teammates, certainly not for everyone else out on track. He's going to get involved. Astro Racing, this is for position, as we can see.
Oh, 3 wide. Oh, it was 3 wide, but Zakdal comes powering through and taking that position.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, the Aston behind him completely lost the back end. Was that Barnes? Oh no, that's... Oh, we've completely lost that there, my apologies. That's not Barnes. Yeah, we'll get back to the live action in a second. Apologies, I pushed the wrong button on the replay, so we'll keep an eye. Yeah, so there is... that's 7... Oh, it's Yannick Plus, of course, that's MSR. How could I not know that livery? Yeah, so that's Yannick Plus in 7th, who's actually just been unlapped by Zakdal, and it looks like he's about to be unlapped by Astro Racing as well. Cody Besselink is caught up there, and I can't see any kind of off tracks there. 145.5, but yeah, Plus being unlapped as well. I mean, that just accentuates the job that Zakdal's doing. We've just praised him to the high heavens for the way he's making his way back through the field. He's getting he's unlapping himself against cars with absolute ease as well. It is just a genuine masterclass.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, he's this kind of never say die attitude that Zakdal has right now is very, very good to see, and he's just getting on with the job, and he has 3.6 seconds gap to Kana. It does look like it's closing on pretty much a corner basis right now, John. But yeah, certainly making it look easy, and yeah, definitely a match made in heaven when it comes to him, the car and the circuit. And I would imagine in the next sort of couple of laps or so could be making more moves.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I'm just very quickly going to... Yeah, there we go. I'm going to try and get some live gaps up on the screen, because that doesn't always do it justice. So Nachira, yeah, confirmation there. I wondered if something had gone on, but Barbary has really picked up the pace compared to Nachira. They got back up to 10.1 seconds. So it's taken 7, 8, 9 laps to get the gap 2 seconds in Nachira's favour. It's taken Barbary 2 laps to re-establish those 2 seconds, so he might just be toying with his brake at the minute, maybe just managing his tyres or something. But Barbary, yeah, as soon as Nachira got under the 8 seconds, he has absolutely put the foot down. Nachira certainly has had a bit of traffic to contend with, but they both have. And yeah, it looks like Barbary back in the hunt was the reason they're leading the championship.
Well, something I did notice though, John, is the track temperature has dipped slightly since when we took over. So it's down to 20 degrees from the initial 22 degrees. We know that every degree makes a big difference to the tyres, certainly for the optimal tyre window. So perhaps going more into Barbari's favour perhaps, and able to eke out a little bit more time than Nachira right now.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, it's amazing how. I mean, they are both in the Ferrari, but not just the differences in how different cars react to hot or cold temperatures. How a setup can react as well. These esports drivers, they put everything. It's like I've said earlier, it's like driving on ice skates sometimes. So yeah, it can be very, very, very temperamental to that PSI. And the way that cloud cover's looking as well, it doesn't look like the whitest and fluffiest of clouds, Sean.
Yes,
maybe get wellies and an umbrella in the pit lane. Can I think some rain dancing's in order, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, so I've experienced my fair share of weather where it's not quite wet enough to go onto the wet tyres, but then it's still extremely difficult on the slicks. But then, of course, that affects the tyre temperatures, and it can be a real nightmare for the drivers. So, yeah, I say bring it on, because I'm not driving. So
yeah, speaking of bring it on, Sean, sorry, Chris Yamano is looking for a double overtake here, as we have the arm leader about to be overtaken. Nope, the arm leader has pulled right out of that one there. Yep, yeah. Den Braber, absolutely astute move there by Den Braber. He's got every right to defend that position, but he's running his own race here, and he's going to let these two pros go, and he's going to crack on at the top of the ARM standings, the ARM race. That's race IQ 200 right there, Sean.
Yes, indeed, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be getting into battles that don't really concern you, really, even though Den Braber was flying high overall in P9, which is like absolutely fantastic. But yeah, certainly the fight between Corvin and Romano is looking rather tasty right now, and Romano trying to apply so much pressure to the Aston Martin driver in front and try to maybe play a bit of mind games and make Corvin look in his mirrors, which I say is always a dangerous game, of course. But yeah, trying to perhaps set up a move in the couple of corners to come, John.
Yeah, it'll be Romano, as he's one of these people that really, really, really annoy me, because he's very quick, he's very consistent. He is phenomenal on strategy. He's really good at broadcasting. He's really good at commentary. Like, mate, save some for the rest of us, please. So, yeah, he is absolutely as smooth as it gets, and he's not even 20 years old yet. Just incredible. He is quite the tactician on the fly as well, and he will already have sized Corvin up. He'll have planned. Because he's already, of course, been close to Corvin until that contact. He's already given up a bit of a chase. You can see just how much more commitment he's got over those curves, right in onto that apex. A slightly later apex by the Aston man, but it has actually held him in good stead through the boot complex, up the hill this corner.
Yeah, and Corvin went a little bit wide out the chicane as well, so that would have lost him a little bit of time, and slightly dirty tyres as well. Yeah, maybe he is looking in their mirrors right now, John, because yeah, Romano is really applying that pressure right now, and yeah, it does look like he's very much a tactician, Romano, and really trying to psych out his opponent and take full advantage as we go through the final two turns of this lap. We'll see if we can get a good exit. We'll see how close he gets to the wall. Very, very close to that wall. I certainly wouldn't be brave enough, John, but yeah, going into turn one now, if he can get a good exit here, surely the overtake will be on.
Yeah, I would think so, up the hill. I was going to say, those wing mirrors were white on the way in the corner. He took the white paint off, they're now red. That's how close he got to that wall there, Christian Romano, and he is so close up the hill. He's played that absolutely perfectly, kept it behind the guarantees, or a bit of a lift there up the hill to make sure he stays behind so he can try for something here into the braking zone, although not quite close enough. The Aston Martin in a straight line is not to be sneezed at, and you can get all the corner exit in the world. If the quicker car ahead has got track position, you really have what's known in the industry as a very uphill task. And at the moment, that certainly seems to be what Romano's got. Then Brabber, as you mentioned, doing phenomenally well, P9, still P11 overall. I would suggest potentially that P12 is on its way soon. There's a driver called Alex Zakdal behind him now.
Oh. We didn't keep an eye on him, did we? Because, of course, last time we was on board with him, he was behind Kano, and I did say he was 3.5 seconds behind at the time, and, yeah, within a flash, he's already passed him, John.
I know, he's just too quick, and if he complains about us missing the overtake, oh, there we go. Oh, they've gone side by side up the hill. Of course he has. He's Alex Zakdal in a Honda, and he's got the inside line on the exit, on the way into the back straight. Honda versus a Porsche in a straight line. Can confirm that wasn't the Porsche driver lifting to let the Honda through. That was the Honda going through. Because that's what the Honda does in a straight line compared to some of these other cars. And that is Zakdal, confirmation. Fabian Karner now behind for Advisor. And Alex Zakdal. Blowtorch through butter. Maybe a phrase you hear quite a few times before the end of the race. Because that's about as close as we can get to describe what Zakdal is doing at the minute. Can Christian Romano heat the blade and go through Corving ahead of him in the Aston? He's not going to get it done this time around. And Brabber 2.4 seconds down the road, he's lost 1.2 to Zakdal while Zakdal was making that overtake. It's just far too quick. It is absolutely quick. Smiley, the Honda is mighty out of turn 1, past halfway up the hill. It really is. Okay, so he did lift. Sorry, Fabian Karner did lift there a bit to let Zakdal through. Again, another driver realising he is in a different race, because Zakdal is, quite frankly, in a different league at the moment.
Yeah,
what's
indeed.
his fastest lap time? 43.8.
Yeah, certainly a man on a mission right now. That is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I was thinking about the blowtorch on the butter routine. Yeah, not just melting it, just turning it into liquid. Just phenomenal stuff from Zakdal. And next victim will be Brabber, although he is, of course, one of the amateur drivers, so maybe can't call him the victim, but just so good to watch, John, how quickly he's annihilating the field in front of him.
He really is. Yeah, we've already seen Dan Brabber. He's got the race IQ, so I imagine he is just going to move out the way on the back straight, and I think Zakdal will be aware of that as well. I'm sure Zakdal would prefer he just stay in front of him, give him that extra slip. Not that he needs the extra slipstream to catapult him ahead, but this will then give him. Oh, now is Romano going to get it done this time around? He is very close, so is Alex Zakdal. We've just seen Corving moving over. There is Dan Brabber moving over. There is Christian Romano looking to climb into the boot of the Aston Martin. Doesn't quite do so this time around. Alex Zakdal is hunting once again. He's got 2.9 seconds to Christian Romano. He's got 0.2 of a second to Sven Corving. Are we going to see the 2 for 1 we thought we were going to see earlier as Romano going to get Corving behind him before Zakdal gets there? He hasn't been able to do so for the last 4 laps. Is he now going to feel pressed into service now that he can see that Honda appearing over the crest of the hill in the rear view mirror? And he most definitely can see that thing cresting the hill. Castellano comes into the pits from 3rd position as Corving leads Romano up the hill through sector number 3 into the final 2 corners. The Ferrari right on the curb. I'll tell you what, let's cheat a bit and go chase Carmen. No, we're not supposed to use this. My apologies. But let's just see how close they get to the wall on the exit. Unless Romano's coming into the pits.
He is indeed. That's how much Zach Dow frightened him. He was like, no, I'm diving into the pits.
Yeah, I don't need that smoke. Alec, you can go through and I'll save face by coming out the pits and you can just overtake me in the pitway. That's fine. But yeah, Romano into the pits, and he's in with another Vesta car as well, Castellano, who's in for Vesta. He's actually just leaving the pits. Abu Said is in the pits as well for Conquest Racing. They've spent quite some time in the pits. They've swapped drivers. Oh, they're still in the pits, sorry. They haven't actually left the pits since they've swapped drivers, so they've obviously had some kind of connection. Oh, okay. Right, okay, so what's happening at the moment is, now this occasionally happens if one of the drivers is on Wi-Fi, and it can cause issues because people can make contact with them and not see them. I would, if I was a betting man, I would bet folding money on the fact that they are actually out on track at the moment.
Right, okay.
We just can't see them. This has happened before. I'm not insane. There is precedent for this. But, yeah, so they are kind of out. Yeah, so Jan is agreeing with me here. This has happened before in a couple of races where people have had random inadvertent incidents, and it's because they've made contact with a car they can't see. And the car that's lapping can see the other cars, but everyone else can't. Sometimes it fixes itself when they do another driver swap, but often they need to leave the server and join back in for us to be able to fully see them.
I see, okay.
Yeah, it is such a weird connection glitch. You don't see it often. Like, you really don't see it often. But it has happened, and it has happened at FRL before. I was in the commentary box with James Williams and it happened. And the team did leave and rejoin, and they were 2 laps down. So they clearly had been racing and not sat in the pits for 2 stints like we could see.
Well, interesting developments here. So on board with Kerner. Was that the? Oh, sorry, that's the move on.
Yeah, Kerner's just gone past Den Braber. Yeah. Den Braber
Yeah.
getting himself right out of the way of the pros. We've had Benjamin Eck. Okay, that is not a healthy BMW, and I think the problem started here.
Big differences there, yeah.
Yeah. So comes into the inner loop with the QRT car ahead of him. Oh, he's missed that curve. He's gone onto the grass. Oh, in the back of the BMW is kicked up. So no actual damage there. Did go off track. We do have another incident registered.
I wonder if it was after that, John.
Well, so this is on the next lap through the same corner. So I think he's made the same mistake and corrected it incorrectly. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, so when I say he's made the same mistake, it looks slightly different. It's the same mistake, he just made it 6 inches to the left of where he last hit the curve. He thought all he needed to do was move 6 inches to the right to correct that from the previous lap, and that was an erroneous assumption by Benjamin. Unfortunately, he needed about another 4 or 5 inches over to make sure he didn't hit the first curve on the way in, so the back didn't bounce. So he had control of the car to avoid the curve on the way out, which caused the excessive bounce, which caused Benjamin Eck to be in need of a panel beater. It's an ill wind that blows nobody some good, and Vesta Sport I've got 2 on the podium.
Well, John, I'm just looking at the leaderboards right now. It does look like Zach Dow is making progress. He's 3/10 adrift of a Corving right. In fact, he's closer. He's a lot closer than that. And is he going to try and send one round the outside? Wow, he's made it work around the outside, John. That is incredible stuff.
I hope everyone else is. I'm currently stood up applauding. You huffed in the face of genius.
I was going to say take a bow actually, John, because that was. I think Zach Dow is the messiah actually. That Oh, that is incredible. Timed it to perfection. It was actually good sportsmanship as well from the other driver as well, giving him the space, because he could have made it a bit more difficult, but then I think he knows the qualities of Zach Dow and thought, you know what, just take the position. I'm not going to fight it.
Yeah.
And
you're not in my race. I'm trying to get myself to the end in the top 10. You're trying to get yourself back onto the podium. You're lapping in the 1 minute 43s. I'm in the 1 minute 45s. Let's let's work the whole thing out. We'll
call it a truce.
Call it a truce. Yeah, we'll call it a draw, and we'll both make it to the end. Happy days. There's Remy Lammers coming in for Gazelle Motorsport. Another one of their cars looking to get into the top 10. For Gazelle, Castorino and Emmanuelson's out there. Are we missing? Oh no, we're not, sorry. Marco Castorino. Did Castorino? Yeah, Castorino took over, sorry, for Christian Romano. Back out in 14th position for this Vesta car. We're going to see a lot more cars in the pits. So there's up to 13th as Lammers is in the pits. We're in 49 to go. Wow. It's been absolutely flying in. So too is Lucas Keel, MSR Esports. Slightly out of sync with some of the teams on the pit stop, but they have diligently made their way into the top 10 once again and are currently in 6th place. And looking at the rear spoiler of one, Benjamin knows how to defend Eck. So we will see how this battle plays out. Aston versus BMW. No real clear winner in the straight line shootout between the two of them. Aston certainly in the early phases. But when it comes to the end, but Keel at the moment it's just on a 44.6, Eck on an outlap, so he is on those cold tyres. So Keel really catching Eck at a very good time here, Sean. He's got the Aston tyres up to PSI, and he has got Benjamin Eck on an outlap. And yeah, the last thing you need on an outlap is someone hunting you down and making you overthink your lines and go slightly offline and not getting your tyres up quickly.
Yes, indeed. That BMW. Very, very fast car that Benjamin Eck is driving, but unfortunately on the cold tyres. And you could say it for any car, to be honest, but certainly with the BMW, becomes that ever more of a death trap, in my opinion. Yeah, Benjamin Eck certainly struggling to get them tyres up to temperature, and this is where Keel is going to have to try and take full advantage, because I don't know if he's going to get another opportunity or an easier opportunity to steal that position from him.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have his work cut out for him, and it's work they're going to need to do pretty quickly, because only 34 seconds down the road is one Alec driving the wheels off a Honda Zakdal. He's 3.3 down on Daniel Blauwitz. So Blauwitz as well, I think, inadvertently got caught up in the earlier contact. He was, yeah, he was involved somehow. I think he was being lapped, or he was unlapping as Eck and Zakdal made contact. So he came through there as well. You can now see the Honda well within sight. It was 3.3 seconds through the previous sector. It's now 2. It's almost a second through one sector of the course.
I mean, I'm running out of superlatives to say about Zakdal, to be honest.
Yeah, we really are. I feel like we're labouring the point slightly, but when you've got someone who's putting in this consistency of lap and this clean and overtake, as a commentator, what else can you do?
Indeed, and although we don't actually have the physical delta, but of course he would have picked up a bit of damage from the early excursions, and it makes it that even more impressive. So yeah, I'm just blown away, to be honest.
Yeah, I do have the delta, so I can confirm on that last lap there he's just set a personal best in sector 1 and 3.
Now, why am I not surprised?
Yeah, Alec doesn't. I've heard that Alec just doesn't recognise damage. if you just refuse to believe it. It's like the Matrix, there is no spoon.
Yes.
So he just drives the wheels off it as if it is brand new and factory fresh.
Zach Dow is the virus, isn't he? So, no, he's so impressive. I have to say though, John, as we get later on in this race, the track temperature is coming down even further. It's down to 19 degrees now. So again, I don't know if Zach Dow, if that suits Zach Dow's driving or not, but yeah, the gap is down to less than a second now, John.
It is indeed, yeah. Also, we've just seen an overtake there. Castorvino getting past Barnes to get himself back up to 11th. There is Benjamin Eck. This Alex Zagdal that I'm actually looking for. Up the hill we go once again. The Honda with another BMW firmly in his sights. Let's see. It won't be into the inner loop, but you can bet this is going to drastically close when they get into the braking zone. Actually, no, it did. Blauwitz really flying through. Full commitment. Yep, he's got a good wide exit. He's got right in on that apex. So yeah, Blauwitz is going to be maybe the toughest overtake that we've seen so far for Zagdal. He's had a couple of very compliant drivers. He's also gone past a teammate as well. But Blauwitz, yeah, he's got no skin in the game as far as Zagdal's results go. So yeah, we can see Blauwitz in.
Oh, it goes wide. Oh, surely an easy opportunity for Zagdal. And yes, he's going to have the power down the straight as well for good measure. So, yeah, easy move for Zagdal into P7. Then he can start chasing up to P6.
Yes, indeed he can. Just as I was saying, this could be a battle for the ages. Nope, slight mistake by Blauwitz and Zagdal pounce. Before we even got the sentence or the thought process finished. Done. And on to the next one. Dave Grohl would be proud. The next one could be 2 once again, as Benjamin Eck is 2 cars ahead of him, but Lucas Keel in between is only 8/10 off the back of Benjamin Eck. So this one very close. Blauwitz still a bit close to Zagdal, but that gap is going to spread. Barbary now 35 seconds ahead of De Keyser. I think there has been a pit stop there as well, and Becca still in 3rd place. We've hardly seen the drivers up at the front. Apologies to those teams, although Vesta right through the but the action has been coming thick and fast, and it's going to be coming again very soon. We'll see Keel now 1.4, so he's lost a bit of time there. Quite a bit of time to Benjamin Eck through that sector. Really didn't have a good boot complex. And Zagdal is going to absolutely destroy that time now. He is going to be right in the hunt for this one. Sooner rather than later. We'll get the confirmation of where he is. Oh, yes,
I was also.
In the boot. Sorry, on you go.
I was also going to say, John, in regards to the drivers at the top, sometimes it's a good thing when we don't show them all too often, because of course we are known for pushing out a few curses on track, and you know, I don't want to be held accountable for such a feat. So so yeah, maybe they're like, please do not switch the camera on me. So but no, certainly there's been so much drama already since we took over, John, and it's you know, maybe the drivers are not wanting such dramas, but I absolutely love it, John. So it's an absolute pleasure to watch drivers like Zach Dow and co just put on a good show for us.
Yeah, they certainly are. Blauwitz and Corving both in for a pit stop. Keel 1.7 down on Benjamin Eck, so a couple of pit stops are going to be firing through. We've got Jan Barth, he was in the chat, he's now on track. There he is in the Adwiser course, and he's quite close to these drivers that have just pitted as well. He's just coming through the boot section, so he'll be not far behind them. when they come out. Emmanuelson comes in from second place in the ARMS, the MT Motorsport car, holding on to that podium position. It's Dick van der Vlies for Gazelle. They've still got a foot on the podium themselves, and they are going to get close to Emmanuelson when they come out of the pits. Tom Brunel in fourth in the ARMS, and the car that was stuck in the pits, they actually disconnected, so it was more of a visual glitch that they were still, they had some kind of weird disconnection, so they were completely out of the race. But yeah, they were still visible for some reason, but they have dropped out of the server completely now. Chris Barnes comes in from TSE Racing, the Project D. Aston Martin is in for a pit stop. There is MT. Oh, you can see just swapping drivers. So a little bit of a glitch. There is Rob Hoods through turn 1. Jan Barth's going to make it through there as well. Oh, it's all getting nice and close in the middle of the field, and Zakdal comes in to the pits, and he's got Melker Garby as his teammate. What we're thinking, if your team manager here, Sean, are you sending Zakdal back out and giving Garby the last slot, or are you giving Garby this one and throwing Zakdal back out there to bring it home?
I think that you should give Zakdal the other drivers' details, and Zakdal secretly get back on track.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
that's just me.
It's a strategy. It's definitely a strategy that would, do the team well. Love it.
But, I was going to ask actually, John, what is the longest the drivers can be out on track?
That is a good question. I think it is. It's a 65-minute stint timer.
Right,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so they've got a 65-minute stint timer, so we've got 1 hour 39 left, so they're still going to have to come in for another pit stop. In fact, 265s is an hour and 30.
Yeah.
Right.
A few minutes out here.
Yeah. Might well be. We'll certainly see how that all plays out. That's 65-minute stint timer, so we'll see what happens for the final stint. See if they run a maximum 65-minute stints for the final 2 stints, or if they do a 65 and then split the last stint rather than having to stop with 10, 9, 5 minutes to go.
Would they? Do you not think, though, John, that maybe they would lose too much time being in the pits? Because this is not Formula One, is it? You know, as you mentioned about the pit loss, it's quite substantial, isn't it?
It is. There is another strategy, of course. If it's less than an hour and 20 or an hour and 15 that they've got left to go, when they take their final pit stop, they could put on a set of tyres, completely fill the fuel tank, and then just drive through the pits to clear their stint timer at the end. So they don't have to make a stationary pit stop. Because there's Carlo Barbary coming in. So effectively 7 minutes short. So 65 minutes from now, we're going to have 60... Oh no, sorry.
65 hour and 5. So yeah, you're talking if one of the drivers is doing
still
at least an hour.
Stop,
yeah, it'll be. So we not getting our maths right.
I know. I was thinking an hour and a half was 130 minutes. That's where I've gone wrong. That's where I've gone. That's where I've made the mistake. So there we go. So they're well within time. So yeah, they're going to come back in with 32 minutes or so left to go. The 141. I was going to say a stop go 32nd for that speeding in the pit lane violation.
Oh no. Costly error. Quite easy to do, but he's going to be kicking himself.
He is, yeah. We're going to be kicking ourselves. Terence Keenan, it was mentioned in the chat, he's back behind the wheel. He's just got himself an overtake on Blau, which fresh out of the pits. Let's watch this one. up the hill. Well, the Aston Martin, look how much more pace he got out with turn number 1. He goes for the outside line to see where the BMW wants to defend. The BMW takes the outside line. The Aston Martin says, thank you very much, I will take the first and last apex. The BMW, yeah, doesn't fancy going side by side. The Aston Martin was fully committed, had the speed and gets the position. Oh, and Blauwitz ends up off track. So Blauwitz just a bit too polite there and finds himself off track. Doesn't lose any more than the 1 position, but that is Terence Keenan, the FRL Aston Martin, back to single figure digits. And Henry Handy looking for more overtakes. Got Van der Klies ahead of him for Gazelle in the arms. And Handy was certainly looking for overtakes earlier in the race, and looking to do so once again as the keys are in the pits for that stock go 30. Becca takes second place. Let's see, Benjamin Eck is passed.
Wow.
Yeah, Benjamin Eck is in 4th position, and it is Justin de Jong for Gazelle Motorsport in the Mercedes. But I do believe if I do that and that, oh, he's only driven 18 minutes. Wow, so the Mercedes is ever so slightly flown under my radar there, Sean. He's only driven his stint for 18 minutes. He's got 40 minutes left out on track. Up in 3rd position with a whole lot of cars doing a whole lot of battling behind him. Great drive from the Mercedes.
Yeah, very, very smart, very, very consistent. Yeah, certainly looking good. And yeah, I mean, we've got an hour and a half of the race. You know, this race might not be completely done and dusted yet, John.
Oh yeah, most definitely not there, especially with the Benjamin Eck equation. He has handed the car over to Melker Garby, so we'll see what Garby can do and how long he's out for. Because of course the drivers, with it being a 65-minute stint time, where they could come back into the pits again in 30 minutes and do a 65-minute stint, or they could stay out for 65 minutes and come out for a 30-minute stint. And I imagine we're going to see some of them try and double stint the tyres as well. In fact, I can guarantee we're going to see drivers not change tyres in the final pit stop. They will try and do an hour and a half on one set of tyres to save the time on the tyre change, purely because if they know if someone else does it, they will beat them. So just in case someone else does it, they have to do it, which means there's going to be lots of teams in the... Oh, and speaking about being in the hunt, he is absolutely in the hunt. Lucas Keel coming under all kinds of pressure from that Aston Martin and Terence Keenan.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Yeah, big pressure moment right now.
And this is to unlap himself.
Yes. Crazy stuff. Yeah, no, and you saw how close he was to the car in front, and in a chicane that I like to call the death chicane. And we have seen a couple of deaths so far. Oh, as he goes a bit wiggly over that curb. Oh, that was a very dangerous moment for Keenan there, but manages to keep control of the car expertly, and meanwhile still putting that pressure on the Aston Martin driver as there are a paper whip between them. This is fantastic to see, John.
It really is. Two absolutely phenomenal drivers and phenomenal teams. MSR Esports, they're in the top 7. Keenan looking to unlap himself to get himself back up onto the lead lap. He's got a long way to go before he does that, of course, as Francesco Adamu is now behind the wheel of the lead car. Again, apologies to the teams leading the race, but there's been so much going on throughout the field. They've very much been neglected, as much as we do massively respect, of course, their ability to put in these ultra quick laps. We do love the overtaking even more. Freddie Winkle was closing in on Blauwitz, but that is the Vesta Sport car of Castorvino going a lap up, I believe. So Winkle out behind the wheel of the leading ARM car, taking over for a stint. That's why the blue flags are waving. I'm 90% sure that is Castorino. Oh no, it's not. It's another one of the Vesta cars. But Justin De Jong has just had a huge yellow flag.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's coming up the hill here, Sean.
Yeah, it could be. Yes. He lost control of the car there. Had to correct the car on the outside, which is not what you want to see or want to do. And unfortunately, ran wide and lucky not to pick up damage there as well. But that certainly would have lost him a fair chunk of time there, John.
Yeah, indeed it will have. But yeah, as you say, very well done not to pick up any damage after that off-track excursion. It was certainly easier to get damage than not pick up damage in the situation he was in there, so he's done well. Freddie Winkle just has a touch of the wall. That is the knife edge that I mentioned when we first started the broadcast earlier, and it really is. That last corner massively accentuates the knife edge that the drivers drive around here to get these kind of lap times in, and the consistency of Francesco Adamu. That's ridiculous. He's just on a 1 minute 44.700, followed by a 1 minute 44.777 while making his way through traffic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff.
Massively impressive in the Ferrari around here. Doing really well. That is the QRT BMW. He's just gone past there. Becca. After, who was it that had the stop-go penalty? Of course, it was the Keys of the 141 car. So Beatstein, they now find themselves after that down in 5th position. So that is, spots lost there. De Jong still in 3rd with Benjamin Eck in 4th place still for FRL. And Winkle doing well to stay on the back of Blauwitz there as well. And just staying on the slipstream, so proving that the Gazelle Motorsport AM team have definitely got a bit of pace right through. It's a strong bunch of AMs they've got coming through, so the pros definitely need to be looking over their shoulder to make sure they're going to still be in the big cars for any future series. It is a great showing from them, Sean. You know yourself, it's you've got so much to think about when you're doing these, your tyre pressure, the track conditions, keeping the car between your main and the mustard, and then you've got your whole race strategy, which inevitably goes out the window after the end of lap 1, and you've got to make contact with all these other cars. Not make contact. You have to interact with all these other cars as well, and so much. We're talking about the blue flags for some of the drivers that, like myself, that know we're going to get lapped 4, 5, 6 times in a long race. It does add an extra layer of anticipation. Let's say maybe not nerves, but the Winkle and the 300 Gazelle car, phenomenal drive for the ARMS and hovering around a well-deserved overall top 10.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, as I say, it's incredible to see. I mean, to the average person, I don't think our minds can comprehend the type of things that the drivers do need to think of, whilst trying to be consistent and quick and be in the race as well. And Gardby's in the pits, John. Sorry, I saw him tumble down the grid order. I was keeping an eye on Gardby actually, because he did set the fastest lap time. I do believe it was a 1 minute 43.7. So did something happen? Was he?
Here is a replay. So right after he set the fastest lap, he's heading up the hill through the boot complex. He's got the FMP Italia car ahead of him, and for some reason that was a yellow flag, and he's transported himself to the pits.
Very, very strange. I wonder.
Yeah, in fact, this incident was before he set the fastest lap, so this can't be it. I mean, he surely didn't crash the car and then do a 43.7.
Yeah. I mean, John, you're...
Smiley, is that 100% accurate? Is his PC turned off? Or is that, sorry, is that just, I'm not sure, because I know you know a lot of the drivers at FRL. Is his PC just turned off while he was driving? Something's up, like I say, there's a lot of yellow flags here, but none of them actually show any damage, but that's certainly a lot quicker out of the pits than we were expecting to see Garby down in 18th position now. Not much in the way of damage. Oh, that is absolute heartbreak. Talk about an absolute uphill.
Oh, I mean,
Zakdal told me on Insta, confirmed, Melker Garby's PC switched off.
Oh, wow. How unlucky can you get, John? That is crazy misfortune. Yeah. Yeah. I was just about to sing his praises and say, John, yeah, he was doing an absolute fabulous job after the heroics of Zakdal, and yeah, he was looking super competitive. Oh, I have no words, John.
Yeah, absolutely heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Got another 24 minutes left of the race, but down to 18th position. And somebody's got to say it, I hate to be that guy. On the bright side, we'll get to watch him and Zakdal carve their way back through the field again.
They're all over again, yeah.
All over again. So, yeah, my place in hell is reserved, but at least the entertainment will be good. Freddie Winkle hanging on to the back of Blauwitz, and I tell you, I'm thinking that Winkle might go for the overtake here. There's only so polite you can be. If you do have pace on the car ahead, then absolutely go for it. Blauwitz certainly not breaking away by any means necessary, or by any means at all at the minute. And that rear view mirror, look at that, the Ferrari having a look
going for it
inside.
Not quite though.
Yeah, and the BMW is leaving the door open. Well, it's going to be a good battle between these two. We've got another 24 minutes left to go. The track temperature 18 degrees, the wind up to 4 kilometres an hour. So it is definitely picking up, as Winkle is more than picking up the slipstream of Blauwitz ahead. Hoofs as well closing in on Jan Barth for 12th position. So we'll keep an eye on that. And also De Keyser, after the stop-go 30-second penalty, they are back to within a second, and Winkle is back to within 0.3 of a second. Maybe going to go, yeah, I was going to say maybe go for it into turn one. We've seen how smart the Gazelle Motorsport team are. It is a roll of the dice getting an overtake done into turn one. And if you're winning the AMS, does it really matter if you finish in 9th overall or 10th?
Well, this is it, John, isn't it? You know, he probably knows that he's got more pace than the driver in front. The driver in front knows that the guy behind is quicker. And it seems like Winkle is sort of thinking about making the pass, but then kind of also thinking, look, this isn't important. You know, I can't risk making any contact with the driver in front when I'm in P1 anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Risk v reward ratio has to be respected.
Indeed.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Winkle and the team are doing. So, yeah, absolute kudos to them for the race they are running in 1:22, and he is quicker down the hill again. And Blauwitz not scared to leave the door open at a certain few corners. He's saying, if you can take that inside line, go for it. No? Well, okay, then I'll just stay in front. As the head up the hill once again, absolute nose to tail. That Ferrari looks on point at the minute. And we'll see if that position does change. The keys are 1.7 down on Benjamin Eck. It is still Vesta Sport romping it up at the front. Francesco Ademu is popping in the low 1:44s as well. Although De Jong, 45-2, sorry for De Jong. So not quite as quick as Becca. Sorry, 44.4s, yeah, definitely low. 44s for Adamy. I couldn't see Adamy there at the top of the time tower. It was Becca I was looking at, but still 144.7. There's at a 44.1 from Adamy, yep. And over the start finish line again. Yeah, Ferrari, very respectful into turn number 1 as you would expect. Here we almost still in a bit of a sideways. Good use of the exit curve again by the Ferrari. Really on point with these lines up the hill as well. Yeah, he's not quite going to be closing up this time around either. There is the race leader closing up to Kiel in 6th position. Wow, that is a serious pace. Serious pace. I mean, they're already a lap up, so this is going to be effectively 2 laps up on 6th position. So as much as we're talking about Alex Agdal and the team doing amazing things, we've got to heap the praise on Vestasport because they are the ones leading this race, putting laps on the top 10 and increasing their gap to 2nd place with an ever diminishing track temperature, constant blue flag traffic to deal with, and a potential for a massive undercut if somebody tries to double stint their tyres at the end. Wow, who'd be a strategist?
Indeed, yeah, indeed. But as I said earlier on, that consistency is key. I don't know, obviously that's a very easy thing to say, but certainly, you know, maybe not pushing 100%, but just making sure that you know that maybe you're like half a second off of your full potential, but just doing it lap after lap after lap, and yeah, he's pulling away from everyone, it seems, and certainly the gap between the top 2 is about 57 seconds, I believe, John.
Yes, it is. Exactly. Well, 57.9 is just ticked on to 58. So
well, there you go.
Exactly, yeah. But it is a Vestasport 1-2, which they will most certainly not be overly unhappy about now that Dijon and Gazelle are back at the pits in 3rd place. Benjamin Eck 10 seconds down the road. But it is definitely the all-conquering Vestasports that are absolutely conquering here in New York. As I say, 13 minutes to go and we will reach the magic marker where drivers can come in and teams can come in to take their final or planned final pit stop of the race. You never know if it's going to happen. So we'll see what they decide to do. And with the track going the way it is, the wind has picked up. It's now 4 kilometres an hour. Oh, is he going to go for it into the toe? He's thinking about it. He's got the pace on the BMW. He sent it towards the apex absolutely beautifully. I would say Blauwitz partially backed out with that one there, but Winkel, a whole lot of patience, and Blauwitz has turned around, Sean, and said, you know what? I'm going to spare your front tyres for a bit and I'm going to take a shot in the slipstream. And Winkel and Gazelle, arm leaders, and now single digit up to 9th. Great race, getting better and better with every corner.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I think I mean, it was quite a number of laps that Winkel was waiting patiently behind, and I think he just felt enough's enough. I need to go for this, and took that position with aplomb, and looking now to start pushing. Well, I say further up the grid. He's P1 for the amateur division, but looking to eke out the pace that I feel like he has got in that Ferrari, and we'll see how he progresses in the last hour and 17 minutes, John.
Yeah, not long left to go to bring this one home for Gazelle. A couple of cars in the top 10. Terence Keenan, one of the cars ahead who got that overtake done. He's unlapping himself and closing in on Castorino for Vestasport at 7th place. So that's, yeah, 3 cars in the top 7 in this field. That is, it's no mean feat. It is no mean feat. Gazelle still got the Mercedes on the podium. Blauwitz. And you just said it yourself there, Sean. That's why we've got you here at Ravencoms. You felt that Winkle really could show his pace now that you feel he had behind the wheel of the Ferrari. Now that he's ahead of Blauwitz, he's already 1.3 seconds ahead.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, he just looked like on a lap-to-lap basis. It just looked like he was kind of half going for a move and then pulling out. He was very hesitant to make the move stick, and I just felt like it was only a matter of time for him to make the move, and now he's going from strength to strength. But looking on board with the Kieser, who is 0.7 seconds behind Benjamin Eck in P4 and P5 respectively. Just going through the outer loop now. It goes a little bit wide on the exit. Very, very lucky there.
It was outer track limits out on the outer loop. I'm sorry. I'll see myself out. I apologise, Sean.
It was on another loop. Yeah, a completely different loop there. Yeah, he's to be honest, though, didn't lose too much time there, and the gap is still, well, it is just under 0.7 of a second now. So we'll see if the Kieser can take advantage of this purple patch that he seems to be on right now, and see if he can force a mistake from Benjamin Eck as we go through turn 9 and on to turn 10. And it's still looking pretty neck and neck. We'll see how close they get to the wall. And in fact, it was Benjamin Eck that pretty much skimmed the outside wall there, as close as you can get. Also looking on board with Forbes in P11, looking to apply that pressure to Blauwitz as well, who could come under extreme pressure, both taking it perfectly through the final turn there. And that McLaren is certainly very, very good in a straight line as we go through turn 1. If Forbes can get a good exit, which he does, he could use that slipstream to his advantage as we go up the hill. And I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make the move before we get into the inner loop, but he's certainly going to be as close as ever to the back of the BMW driver in P10. And we'll see if...
Sorry, jumping back forward, just wanted to check here actually, because Forbes is close, but the Kieser was slightly closer, so I had to jump between and see. He is very close now in the Aston Martin with Blauwitz. As you astutely pointed out, he is under increasing pressure from a very quick and a straight line at McLaren, and you feel that this is a when rather than if scenario, unless the pit stops somehow get in the way. But there's 8 minutes before I reckon we'll see anybody, and even then I don't think we'll see many in. I think, no, I don't think we will. I think some of them will leave it till a bit closer then, but watch them all file into the pits just to make it feel to me once again. Van der Cleese for Gazelle. They've got two cars on the arm podium. Henry Handy looking for more BMW on BMW overtaking action, and I think he's going to get this one a bit quick as well. He's going to sail it around the outside. No, he's not. So he's going to open up at the last second and try for the cutback on the exit, which he does beautifully, but doesn't manage to pull the cutback off quite so cleanly. Van der Cleese holding on to the position, holds the middle ground there, so not for shaking. Won't be
yeah, as we didn't have time to call it, did you, John? I mean, like, literally Handy around the down the inside of the other BMW driver and Van der Cleese, and I didn't want to say it, but he's looking rather handy, isn't he, John?
He is indeed. That's it. 1-1 with the dad jokes. I'll let you off. Forbes is still looking quick. The Kieser as well. Oh, so we've now got 2 battles that are absolutely enthralling at the minute. This is not deja vu. I know they looked like this for the last 2 laps. It is 3 in a row that the Keezer is going to have a little look up the inside. And 3 laps in a row, Benjamin is going to say, I'm not even looking at my mirrors, I'm just holding my line. And Forbes doing the same as well to Blauwitz. They're coming up to Tom Brunel there in 22nd position. Yep, and the BMW trying to catch some slipstream ahead. Oh, the McLaren's thinking about it. He didn't want to get on the marbles there when he was braking. You can see there's quite a few marbles out on the track now. You definitely don't want to be interacting with too many of those. Although if you're deep into your stint, you cook your tyres a bit and try and roll over it and get a bit more rubber back on the tyres. But I don't think that that is the type of rubber you want back on your tyres. Oh, into the last corner, the BMW goes semi-defensive. Let's see if we get on the exit, or do we see how the Keezer is getting on? Okay, so that one's close there. Let's see where Forbes is, down into the 90. He's within 3 tenths across the line, but the Keezer's within a tenth and a half through the inner and outer loop. We've got another car getting involved there as well. Oh, that's Keenan looking to unlap himself.
It's all going off right now, John.
It's a spicy meatball.
Yeah, certainly it's a little bit of potluck on who to focus on right now. Going through what I call the death chicane, but of course it's called the inner loop. Yeah, as close as can be, and does look well. At one point it looked like Forbes was setting himself up for the move, and then Blauwitz just gets a slightly better exit out of the turn. But this is the all-important corner here. It's really about trying to maximise the full width of the circuit. As we go down the boot now, it doesn't look like Forbes can make a move at the moment, currently about a car length away. So Blauwitz is hanging on for dear life. And can he hold his nerve, John? That is the question.
That is the big question at the moment. Yeah, this is of course their positions inside the top 10 in the pros, with Winkle being in the arms. Forbes of course in 10th place, Blauwitz in 9th overall. So these two battling hard for this one. Oh, and the battle could be over, and it is over out of the last corner. That is just that millimetre too wide by the BMW, and the McLaren is going to take the inside line. They're going to still be side by side. Well, no, not quite into the 90 there. The BMW heavy on the brakes, and the Astro McLaren with Adam Forbes behind the wheel sail themselves into a single digit position in the pros. Let us then turn our attention to the ongoing war of attrition that's going on at the minute between Benjamin Eck and Ademu de Keezer. The Beats Dean AMR team, we know, have pace. They've been well inside the top 5. They've had a stop go 30-second penalty, and they've had a few laps to catch up to Benjamin Eck. Job done. They've had a few laps to get the overtake done. Yeah, okay, this is Benjamin Eck. The man can overtake and he can defend. We saw a titanic struggle between himself and the Gazelle Mercedes that is now ahead of him. And I don't imagine he's overly keen to let too many other cars through. An hour and 7 minutes left to go. 3 minutes until we hit one stint of the race left to go. We'll see, I think, a massive variation of when the drivers come in. Blount was still hanging on the back for Hoofs, and Barth as well, actually having an incredible battle down in 12th position. Right on that inside curve, beautiful line. Oh, he's run a little bit wide as the BMW, so he's not. If he managed to keep his foot in it, he's going to have less centrifugal force slowing his acceleration, but he might have had to lift for track limits. To Aston Martin very close, Sean, as the BMW goes defensive into the inner loop. Surely the Aston's got him here.
I think so. He's got that inside. Oh God, it's going to be tight though. It's going to be massively tight and nearly touching bumpers, and just holding on to that position. But I mean, that was too close for comfort there, John.
That really was. We jump on board to 8th place Terence Keenan, who's just sailed on past. He's caught up to unlap himself, and he has just put the moves on fellow Aston driving De Keyser, now, that might seem like he's given up there, but this is what I was talking about earlier. Using the blue flag traffic, whether you're overtaking them or they're unlapping themselves, he now knows he's got a quicker car to hang on to the back of to catch back up to Benjamin Eck ahead, and he knows they're both FRL, so they're likely to be very polite to one another. Can De Keyser take advantage of that situation and sneak himself in the lead? Him and his team will certainly be hoping so, but yeah, Terence Keenan, he is doing his act, Al. He's getting the overtakes, he's getting the unlaps done. Zach Dahl and the team, for anyone that did miss it, Milker Garby's PC switched off just after he set the fastest lap of the race. You absolutely could not write that in a soap opera, but it did happen. He's now back out on track. 18th position, 16 seconds to go to the final podium spot in the AMS. We're focusing on the moment with Amadeo De Keyser. We've got Terence Keenan in 8th, just unlapped himself. We've got Benjamin Eck in 4th, the position he is chasing down, just ahead of both of these drivers into the death chicane, a more than apt name for this corner complex. Every single stage of it likely to kill your car if you get it a millimetre wrong, as we've seen multiple times so far. Down the hill into the boot complex is Eck De Keyser. It's Eck Keenan De Keyser. Yeah. I undone myself there trying to be too clever, Sean. That's what happens, just the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. That's motto to live by. And De Keyser here, he's absolutely lined this up pretty well, you would say. Wasn't able to find a way quickly past Benjamin Eck, so you know what? I will see if someone quicker than me can find a way past, and I'll maybe see if I can sneak on through as well.
Yeah, he didn't quite get on the power as quickly as he would have liked. He went a little bit sideways there. He had to be very quick on the autocorrect there. So I think that's the wrong word there, John. But anyways, yeah, it's as close as it can be, as they got very, very close to the side wall there. As we see the blue flags waving, but no one cares about that. That is for sure. Yeah, then we've got the slipstream, a battle up the hill, and it does look like it's Keenan in the.
Keenan in the Keenan in the middle.
Yeah. So Keenan actually got a very, very good bit of power, and he goes around the outside. Surely not. Oh, yep. Wow, what a fantastic move. Very brave as well. And it did look like De Keyser was going to take full advantage there, but pulled out at the last second there, John. This is nerve tangling stuff, I have to say. It
really is. There was 1,000th of a second between De Keyser and Eck through the timing line in the braking zone of the inner loop chicane. 1,000th of a second separated those two drivers through the heaviest, fastest braking zone on the course. Incredible. No contact was made. 0.3 of a second. Terence Keenan has managed to get two people unlapped. De Keyser and Eck that can now continue their battle for our viewing pleasure. Jan Barth is going to be grinning ear to ear. He has had hoofs absolutely glued to his rear spoiler now. Since he came out of the pits effectively, and we also had Zarkov as well get close. Okay, and Tazanatso came into the pits, but yeah, certainly Alexander Zarkov, my apologies. I did notice you were 0.3 of a second off the rear spoiler of Tazanatso. Tazanatso though coming into the pits. So let's have a look back with Jan Barth and Rob Hoofs. We do like to catch all the action, although say that just to say we're going to catch all the action. We've got more going on. Oh, now the BMW was massively wide there on the corner exit. He's going to have to have lifted surely, or has he just expended a speed token and picked up a slap on the wrists from the in-game stewards? He certainly doesn't look like he's lost a huge amount of pace.
No, not indeed. I'm just looking on chat as well. Smiley saying it was teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. So yeah, I thought there was no friends when it comes to racing, John. You know.
Indeed, certainly in my group of friends. Nope. Gotta win. Yeah, most definitely. As long as I finish ahead of my friends, I don't care who else is ahead of me. That's fine. Yeah, and one of these days I will actually finish ahead of some of them. Oh well. The keys are still looking to finish ahead of Eck, and we've got the all-important final pit stops to take as the track temperature tumbles. 17 degrees, still got 4 kilometres an hour wind. No sign of rain at the moment. Jan Bartho definitely popping up on the radar. He has been overtaken. Let's see if we can catch sight of this one. And I think we will indeed. The BMW, guided by Rob Hoofs, gets a phenomenal exit out of turn number 1. Chases the Porsche up the hill, plants it up the inside into the inner loop and says thank you very much. I've enjoyed the battle, Mr. Barth. But yeah. Done with it now. Let me trek off for pastures new. Very nice overtake done there, Sean. Lined them up absolutely perfectly. Barth not quite getting the exit out with turn 1. Hoofs read the assignment instantly and got the car where he needed it to be. And that's a very confident overtake, a good overtake after spending a few laps behind Barth as well. So sized them up and has been patient.
Yeah, textbook overtake from Hoofs there. You could see what he was planning and performed it to perfection. I can't even get my words out there. But Jan Barth, though, not giving up without a fight and got very close to the BMW driver. Clearly not happy and wanting to show him that you got a race on, pal, and don't feel that because you got past me that I'm going to make it easy for you. So got the slipstream up the hill, coming up to the outer loop, and not going to be able to make the move done, but he's going to try to apply that pressure as much as possible, trying to force a mistake out of the BMW driver. Both of them immaculate through the inner loop, the outer loop as well. So very difficult one to call here, John. But of course, I always say that the toe is the most important corner of them all to set you up for the straight, and it does look like just lost out a little bit there, Bath, John. As we go on board then with the Kieser. There we go.
I will hang my head in shame and let you talk about the pending action, Sean. There's clearly a competent commentator here, and there's me. Please do tell us about the opening of the last hour.
So, I mean, it's same old story by the looks of it, though. The keys are just dropping back slightly as we come up to lapped traffic, and good sportsmanship there gets out of the way in time for De Keyser to make the pass. But yeah, it's currently 7/10 of drift of Eck and Keenan. It does look like for now Eck is in a pretty safe position. It actually has pulled even more of a gap, just under a second, John. But yeah, what are your thoughts, John?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking when my microphone's not on mute, it's far more entertaining for the audience. I'm also thinking, yeah, Benjamin Eck absolutely count these chickens. The teamwork that makes the dream work is certainly working that dream. Keenan unlapping himself against two drivers and is now, rather fortuitously some might say, giving his teammate a bit of, or getting a bit of a tow. Keenan is giving a bit of a tow to Benjamin Eck, and that is extenuating the gap between Eck and De Keyser, and it is now to such a state where Eck is no longer giving up slipstream to the Keyser, and we can see that playing out visually on the track as he gets ever so slightly smaller down the bottom of the hill underneath the phenomenally huge rear spoiler of the BMW. Big shout out to Brunel, still going after 4 hours.
Wow.
Brunel's doing this single-handed.
No way.
What an absolute maniac. Let me just confirm that. He's doing this single-handed. So is Henry Handy.
Oh, wow. That's... no, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say that's rather handy.
I know. No one to blame but himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Phenomenal stuff. Tom Brunel, take a bow, sir. Take a bow. Gratuitous camera time for Tom Brunel in the Long Smile Racing Car, and Henry Handy will be forthcoming, I can assure you. Shout out to Handy. Yep, Weenie saying he's been at the wheel for 5 hours.
Wow. I just wonder if he's got one of them. Maybe he's got like a 3-litre bottle. Well, yeah, a bucket of Monster or something. I don't know. I mean, with a pipe.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just getting it funneled straight in. Absolute gallons of this stuff. But yeah, massive shout out. Tom Brunel missed the first hour, but he is racing. He's 4 hours into this one, so he'll do 5 hours. Handy doing the whole 6 hours single-handed. Absolute insanity. But you absolutely love to see it, and I tell you, he'll be loving this because he's done some overtakes. He's been chasing cars, and yeah. So massive kudos to those drivers doing the single-handed. You absolute heroes. You might be slightly insane. Look at Becca hands over to Giuseppe Castellano coming out to finish the race for Vesta Sport. 54 minutes left to go. They did change tyres.
Right, okay.
So let's keep an eye on that and see who does and see who doesn't. I think some of the drivers at the top just might. Benjamin Eck, I think, could be a candidate to do so just for fear of covering off the Keyser potentially doing it, because not changing tyres will save you quite a few seconds in that pit stop, and I can assure you it's a lot more than 1.3. The Benjamin Eck is currently ahead, and I tell you, this is absolute precision stuff.
Yeah.
From Terence Keenan, and that rear spoiler cam on the Aston needs to be fixed. Yeah, precision stuff between these two. Benjamin Eck is latched on to the back. He is shaking off the Keyser at a tenth of a second at a time, and he's effectively making Keenan's life easier as well, because as everyone knows, when there's 2 cars in the slipstream, the one in front goes a bit quicker as well because the air goes over both cars. So this could not have worked out any better for Benjamin Eck and Terence Keenan at this point.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. I don't like this favouritism, but it's very, very, very smart, and yeah, Benjamin Eck. It did look like quite a long time ago now, wasn't it, John? Probably a good hour ago. It did look like his race wasn't going to plan, but all of a sudden now into P2, and things are starting to look rosy for him again.
Yeah, they certainly are. John Beaton in the pits. He's behind the wheel of the Mercedes. We also have... oh no, sorry, I thought there was someone else in the pits. But we don't. There's John Beaton coming out, so that'll be their final stint. Pit stop timer says they changed tyres. So no double stint for them. Not a massive surprise, because that was a fairly long stint that had just been done. But that'll be the Mercedes hoping that's their last trip into the pits. There's Van der Klis coming in from the AM podium. Melker Garvey finding another position on track. And we've got Adam Yu. Let me And so we do, as I say, we've got Vestasport leading the way, Benjamin Eck Formula Racing League in second place, the Keyser in third. It's all down to the pit stops now. We've got Vestasport in fourth position, Gazelle Motorsport on the still in the Mercedes, of course, in fifth, and Yannick Plus back out for MSR in sixth place. Ahead still of Benjamin, Terence Keenan, sorry, I'm obsessed with this Benjamin Egg battle. He is still hanging on to the slipstream. There is blue flags constantly waving because Keenan is a lap down. Well, no, sorry, he's on the same lap now. He's unlapped himself, but of course the game registering that Eck is ahead of him, so therefore blue flags are waving. But as Sean mentioned, this is effectively just a blue flag parade for these drivers at the moment. The Keys are really doing well. He's caught up another 2 tenths. He's caught back 2 tenths there. But that is Keenan in 7th. We've got Winkle up to 8th position. I do believe they've got another pit stop to take, but still comfortably inside the top 10 and leading the way in the arms ahead of Daniel Blauwitz for QRT in 9th place. And then in 10th it is Rob Hoofs, sorry, where is Castorino? So Castorino down in 12th, sorry, yeah, Rob Hoofs is up in the 10th, but this is all going to change again because there's more pit stops to take. Bartholomew and Castorino, who is on the team's last stint, can now focus on getting to the end of the race. 15 minutes left to go. Cars ahead will be pitting. So needs to get through the traffic as quickly as possible. It's Alexandre Larocque, TSE Racing, 13th position, and Adam Forbes for Astro in 14th place. We've got Marco Vergao, MT Motorsports, 2nd place in the arms at the moment. They've been solid in that position. I think we did see one minor off track, but it was very minor. A solid race from the ARM team as well. And of course Henry Handy, he has so far done 5 hours and 11 minutes behind the wheel of the car. What an incredible stint that is. Melker Garby down in 17th position. They've got the fastest lap of the race, but a cruel technical failure has seen them drop down to 17th. It is Keith Lars who is back out behind the wheel of the Gazelle Motorsport car in 3rd place in the arms, 18th overall. Daniil Blagov, Team More Black on the Porsche wagon, ahead of David Monceau, the FMP Italia car, 20th position overall, 17th in the pros. They are ahead of Astro Racing, Carl Van Hoorn now. Let me just check this and this, but yeah, looking interesting. Carl Van Hoorn, now is he dropped into order? I think he's had an incident, Sean.
Oh, okay.
Quick replay, one of the Astro cars, yeah, down the 21st. Ah, okay, no, he hasn't had an incident. He's just gone slightly off track to let the battle go around him. There we go.
Got excited there, John.
Yeah, I thought we had something going on, but not particularly there at the moment. As we see the Advisor car come out of the pits, that is Adam Forbes, and it is Manuel Novak who's going to be bringing their car home. And Sean, I hate to labour the point, I know us commentators are accused of being overly keen on rain, but those clouds look very, very, very grey. Very grey. Some of these teams coming in, just imagine you see a warning, rain in 30 minutes, the last 15 minutes we get a flooded track, because it's happened at Watkins, Glen.
Yes, yeah, it doesn't look good as we see the headlights come on as well, so that's not normally a good sign. Oh! Big contact in the background, John.
Oh,
big contact. Yep. I'm sorry for my little outburst there.
Yeah, no, that is yeah. So they've made contact. That is the Astro car looking to unlap itself against the car that's come out on. Oh, and it's He's made contact with the wall, but it's the curbs that have killed him at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah,
I did say earlier, sorry Sean, I did say earlier, it's that dip the drivers really do lean into it, but it's that Watkins Glen knife edge. You lean into it marginally too much. Bad things happen.
I do wonder, because the track is evolving on a lap-to-lap basis. Now 17 degrees track temperature. I do wonder whether or not the curbs are just that little bit more slippery now, not so much grip, and perhaps just catching out the drivers a little bit there, John.
Yeah, a lot less rubber being laid down because there's a lot less heat on the tarmac.
Yeah.
So yeah, makes them just a little bit colder. And if your tyre temperatures, tyre PSIs aren't quite in the window, then
that's
you
the
could find
thing.
your lap absolutely out the window, as we say up here in Scotland. Although we say it more out the windy, but no one understands that. Benjamin Eck has come into the pits, and I'm going to say he's changed tyres. What?
And Smiley just saying Zach Dow is about to retake over the Honda as well. Time for fireworks.
Indeed. Vincenzo Senatore now, 31.9, so they did change tyres. Wow, that was a quick stop actually. I thought it was a slow stop. They were only stopped for 31.9 seconds. That's one of the fastest we've seen all day.
Wow.
Yes, so there we go. That is, yeah. I mean, we've seen Castorino do a 32.0, so it's only a tenth quicker, but it is still in the 31 seconds. That is a very, very, very quick stop. Very quick stop. There's Melker Garvey is about to hand over for the final 45 minutes to the Wizard of Watkins Glen. So we'll see what Zach Dow can do, and if that nickname actually sticks, I would not be surprised, because he is quite frankly a wizard here at Watkins Glen. Adamu doing the same as well, absolutely hoofing it. Who still needs to pit from the top 5? Is a good question. So,
is it Adamu?
Yeah, Adamu still needs to pit. He will, let me see.
And
Beaton.
Beaton. It's Beaton as well, isn't it?
Beaton has pitted, I think. I'll tell you what, let's let's do this the old-fashioned way. Helmet cam. Oops. So, Adamu has 11 minutes left of his stint, so he's got to come into the pits again. And it's going to make me do this individually for everyone. The Keyser has driven for 54 minutes. He's got 10 minutes left of his stint. Castellano, he is out to the end.
Oh, okay.
John Beaton is out to the end. Senatore, I believe, is out to the end.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So the top 5 is only the top 2, did I say? Sorry, Castellano is going to the end. Yes, so it's only the top 2 that need to pit out with the top 5.
Okay, that's interesting.
It is indeed. They're going to need to do so within the next 10 minutes. That really is getting grey.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those things. We'll get rain on the last 2 laps.
Yeah, and I as I mentioned earlier, I wonder if it gets to that sort of window where it's like, well, it's not quite wet enough for the wet tyres, but then it's super tricky for the slick tyres, and not being able to sort of manage the PSIs on the tyres, and anything could happen in them type of conditions, which I don't wish it upon anyone, but being as we are commentators and we've got that adoring public watching right now, I'm sure we are praying for them type of conditions. But 42 minutes left to go, anything can happen, and hopefully something will.
Indeed, yeah, as these pit stops, it is going to get a bit spicy in the closing 15 minutes, which is, It's exactly what you get at FRL. The Coach Dave Delta Endurance GT3 2024 series has been an absolute banger so far. Hungaroring, Donington, Valencia, Suzuka, Red Bull Ring and the Nordschleife all done and dusted. We've got Zolder, Laguna Seca and Kailami to end the season. They're all individual races, of course. If you do want to get signed up and potentially win yourself some Coach Dave Delta prizes, the links are in the About page underneath. And there is the link to the SimGrid host page for the #1 racing provider on SimGrid. That's Formula Racing League. Over 6,500 drivers, cannot be wrong. There's a reason they're the #1 on SimGrid. That's all I'm going to say. All your racing needs, ACC, rFactor 2, F1, you name it, they race it. It's well organised and it's beautifully run. So get yourself signed up. On that SimGrid page, you will find the link to the Discord. Get yourself in there. If you need any advice, if you want to test yourself, they've got a phenomenal license system as well. I should probably concentrate on the race and stop waxing lyrical about the empire that James Williams has built, but it is something that is worthy of the highest echelons of praise. So if you do enjoy sim racing, get yourself signed up. And thank you to anyone that has subscribed to the YouTube channel. Technology today has decided not to show me notifications, so thank you to anyone that's hitting the thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button as well. Your continued support for such a phenomenal, ever growing channel is massively appreciated, and the drivers as well, of course. I'm sure they will fully appreciate their 1 month Coach Dave Delta subscription in the pros and the arms for winning the races today. And they will also be receiving a cash prize as well. First place in the pros and the arms will be getting themselves £20. It will be £12 for second place in both splits and £8 for third place in both splits. And for the overall championship, it is £100 for first, £80 for second, £40 for third, £30 for fourth and £20 for second place. So there is a whole lot to play for between now and the end of the season. So you might be thinking there's only 3 races left. Get yourself involved. They are absolutely incredible races here at FRL, and we are in for a grandstand finish when we see some drivers coming into the pits. Really, the weather is teasing us now, Sean. It's teasing us. That is full grey. In this country I live in, if the clouds looked like that, I would be wearing 18 layers and in a bunker. It looks almost Armageddon-like out there, and yet no sign of any rain. The driver's grateful, but it's one of these, and you've seen it yourself, we could see in the last 30 minutes the temperature could suddenly drop by 2-3 degrees because the wind is up to 5 kilometres an hour. So there's going to be a few teams that have been grateful that they've stayed out as long as they can and taken these last stints, and a couple of teams that might regret coming in with an hour to go.
Yeah, well, one of them drivers is Zach Dow, who made the swap very recently. Just manages to pip, Ketelars is actually in the amateur division, but moves himself up into P17 overall. He's definitely got his work cut out, though, I have to say, John. I mean, even the great Zach Dow, what kind of progression can he make in the last 38 minutes of this race?
Yeah, not a lot of time left out on the tarmac for the Wizard to work his magic. Terence Keenan is coming in, 37 minutes left of the race. FRL's number 441 Aston peels into the pits they'll be hoping, and certainly we do for them as well, and just like we do for everyone, this will be their last trip into the pits. 7th position, so didn't manage to close in close enough to Yannick Plus, who is, I think, going to go a lap back up on Keenan. So Keenan unlapping himself against Plus. I think he's going to go back. Oh, Den Braber. Oh, now the AMO leader with a yellow flag late in the race. Please don't do this to us or yourselves. That is Team Beach. Oh yeah, so they've moved over. Ah, okay. So yeah, they've gone. Yeah, I need to fix that on my telemetry. It shouldn't pop up for that. But yes, it's because we're going so slow on the straight. That's popped up. But Dimbraber, 12th position in this field. They're going to finish 5 positions ahead of Alex Zagdal. That's going on my resume if that's me, quite frankly. Blauwitz is in the top 10 for QRT. Look how quickly the light has diminished. That is incredible.
Yeah.
And it's it's geographically correct as well. It does get early. It does get dark very early in New York. And yeah, certainly playing it here as Henry Handy goes ahead of Vergau, the remnant racing driver. He does have another pit stop to take, so might lose that position once again. But it's all about these two up at the top. There was Adam who's he's still got to take his pit stop back, and he's right behind the Keyser in second. So we've been waxing lyrical about Alex Zagdal, Terence Keenan and the drivers, but Vesta Sport, they're championship leaders for a very, very, very good reason. We're 5.5 hours into the race, and they're looking to lap P2 still.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy, in my opinion. I have to say, just the sheer dominance of Vesta Sport, and just so impressive. I was going to say, actually, with the lights dimming, and it really is a whole different ball game when it comes to racing. Perhaps the likes of Vesta Sport and many a driver, perhaps no problem for them, but certainly sometimes the lack of visibility can throw any driver off, yeah, it's going to get rather interesting, especially if the heavens do open, which is looking rather unlikely now, but we can only see 30 minutes into the future, so who knows, maybe the last 4 minutes, as John said earlier, maybe the last couple of laps, maybe the heavens could open and we have a bit of a lottery in terms of what could happen, but certainly so far, yeah, Vesta Sport in Adamu looking very comfortable.
Indeed, yeah, Castellano, one of the team's cars as well. 2 Ferraris on the podium, and 2 of them belong to 2 of them belong to Vesta Sport, and it's going to be the top 2 spots as the Keyser does come in to take Beechdean's final pit stop. So Castellano will round the last corner. John Beaton as well. Oh no, now he is a fair chunk down, so I think the Keyser will get back out ahead of Beaton. So Beaton for Gazelle, and now he's got. Oh, Senator is 8 seconds down, but he does have. That's not the race leader. That is 8th place. Castorino looking to unlap himself in the closing stages. It's all still going off, and I tell you what, I could well be mistaken. The Keyser is still stationary. John Beaton is round at the last corner. The last thing he wants now is a car trying to unlap himself into turn at number 1, as he's just gone ahead. I got that massively wrong, folks. I sit corrected. I sit uncomfortably at the moment, but I certainly sit corrected. John Beaton, Gazelle Motorsport, back up onto the podium. So I massively misjudged that one. My apologies to the team. The Keyser back at the pits in 5th position for Beechdean, and he is back out. You can see his sun dip in the light there. We won't quite have to change the filter, but it is all changed on the podium after the pit stops, and it's almost all back to as was. Beaton is on the podium, but it's Castellano and Vesta Sport that have secured themselves 2nd place for the moment. We'll see if there is any more pit stops, and if they are, look how dark it is just suddenly gone.
Yeah.
And 16 degrees as well, so that track's dropped off. So the cars that have just come out of the pits, they are going to be eternally grateful they decided to take the pits when they did. And look at that, that's why you're leading. That's why they're leading the championship. When is the perfect time to pit, Sean? It's about 32 minutes left to go, John. That's Francesco.
Yeah,
the championship leader in.
I was just about to say that, yeah. But yeah, no, that obviously we didn't think about this earlier on, and I wasn't 100% sure when it was going to get dark, but yeah, certainly fresh rubber, changing the PSIs to the optimal window as well, and knowing, or at least having a good guess of how cold the track temperature will get. Obviously, with the current drivers that are on track that are on old strategies, they're going to be suffering all the same. So we'll see how much the gaps come tumbling down, particularly with De Keyser, Beaton and Senator as well. And yeah, maybe some decisions will have to be made in the closing stages of this race, John.
Indeed, like, is there a thesaurus with enough plaudits for Alex Zagdal, who's just set the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 43.6?
I almost forgot about him. Almost.
That's why he set the fastest lap, Sean.
Yes.
Oh, wait, I'm outside the top 10. They might forget about me. Bang! Hello! It's still here. So, yeah, we were questioning maybe did he come in a bit too early? Are the tyres going to be in the right window? Yes, they are. Is he going to have any problems? No, he's not. He's going to go faster and faster and faster, and he's got 7 seconds. So you know, at this point in time, the only thing on Alex Zagdal's mind is getting that next overtake. He's got 30 minutes to make up 7 seconds on second place in the arms, and that is absolutely going to be his number one priority. Carlo Barbary is out to bring home Vesta Sport with Castellano, and his teammate is going to be proudly joining them on the podium with 30 minutes to go. John Beaton for Gazelle, rounding out those podium positions. And we're going to have to give John Beaton and the teammates some plaudits as well. They've been involved in some serious battles, and they've managed to keep it together, himself and Justin de Jong. A couple of slight incidents, wrong place, wrong time a couple of times. 5.5 hours into the race, they're on the podium with an 8-second gap to the car behind. That's a good drive in the Mercedes up against some of these other cars here, Sean.
Yeah, 100%. You don't normally see cars like the AMG being super competitive. Normally, I'd say anyways, but then maybe this doesn't apply to these types of drivers, but normally you see a lot of the Ferraris and the McLarens right up there, maybe the BMWs as well, but yeah, certainly the performance from Beaton and his teammates has definitely gone unnoticed in that AMG, and yeah, he's on podium by merit, so a fantastic drive so far, and looking to plough even, get even further up the grid if possible.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. So I'm just reading the chat as well. Thank you to everyone that's been in the chat today. Smiley giving the VTEC yo for Alex Zagdal. Yeah, the VTEC is not to be sneezed at. Oh yeah, and Weenie as well. That is pointing at the feet. They are the head and shoulders, in fact. They're miles quicker than the next Mercedes. So yeah, they are easily the fastest Mercedes out on track, which again is yeah, to be the fastest car in your manufacturer class. That's not too shabby a feat either. So yeah, John Beaton bringing home all the plaudits and a podium. Well, less than 28 to go. Carlo Barbary has got a good lead up at the front, 71 seconds.
Wow. And
I'll tell you what, Sean, you can only wonder what type of fight we could have had between car 331, the Formula Racing League Honda, and car number 11, the Vesta Sport Ferrari. We can only hope and pray that in the next round it's a bit of a cleaner start and a smoother start for Zagdal and the team, because these two going at it round Zolder for 10 hours, sign me up.
Oh yes, yes indeed. Yeah, I love Zolder. Zolder, one of my favourite circuits, and I could literally watch that all day and all all week, basically. Rob, oh, why am I saying Rob?
I've called you George, you've called me Rob.
Yeah.
There we go. And I will take that as a compliment as well, because Rob is an absolute diamond geezer. So, yeah, I will take that all day long. Just don't tell him I said that.
Oh dear, oh dear. I'm sorry, Rob is normally my partner in comms. I'm so used to calling out Rob. But
in the heat of the action, it's easily done, as long as you don't do it with your... no, I'm not even going to crack that joke, because I am single for a very good reason. Castorino closing in on Keenan. Keenan out of the pit in 7th position. We've seen him make his way through the field so far. Got some solid unlaps done. This is an entirely different proposition for Keenan now. This is Marco Castorino. Castorina, sorry. This is the Vesta, one of the Vesta Sport Ferraris. And in case you didn't know, they're quite a quick team. If I hadn't mentioned that multiple times over and over and over again, like banging a drum. But yeah, Castorino closing in, and that is 6/10 of a second. That's another 2/10 he's found through sector number 3. And Keenan in the Aston Martin. It's going to be a grandstand finish for these two. Looking for lucky number 7 as a finisher. There's a full commitment through that. That genuinely, that is my one massive downfall, I would say. My biggest downfall when I'm commentating. I am so on the spot, jaw-droppingly impressed at the control the drivers have. I cannot maintain my professional veneer and hide my instant reaction, which is wow.
Yes.
Having tried to do this, Sean, to take those lines at this stage of the race, just full commitment, full talent. Yeah, game on.
It's certainly alien technology, as I like to put it. It's out of this world, out of this universe, I'd say. But very, very impressive, of course. And like I say, or like I mentioned earlier, as the lights dim, you know, you'd expect to see more mistakes from the drivers, but it's just sheer perfection right now, John.
Yeah, absolutely on point. What I'm going to do, Sean, if you don't mind, I'm going to take a very quick pit stop. I'm going to leave you on board with Castorino and Keenan, and I'll be back in about 3 minutes, if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Mr. Sean Madden, ladies and gents.
So as John takes his pit stop then, so yeah, we're on board with Castorina, and he is looking rather pacey right now, looking to apply that pressure to Keenan, Keenan's been formidable during this race, but this is when the going gets tough, and Castorino is hoping to force a mistake from the Aston Martin driver of Keenan, but so far, from that angle there, it looked like that Keenan made a mistake there, but it was just a funny angle. Keenan just in front of Castorina, but they are getting rather tight right now as we come up to the toe. As I always mention, it's one of the most important corners in the whole of Watkins Glen. Keenan drives to perfection and manages to hold off the Ferrari driver, but I do suspect that some drama could be awaiting us very, very shortly as we go through the hill. And I can imagine running a little bit wide on the curb, on the exit, shall I say, could be quite tricky as the track temperature gets ever more cooler. We're going around the final turn. Keenan got very close to the wall, just kept it off it, but Castorina is certainly looking rather dangerous as we go through turn 1 onto lap 100. For them, 188, I believe. And And can Castorina use that slipstream to his advantage? I don't think he's going to make it stick before we get in to the inner loop. But he's certainly going to give it a good old try. But it goes a little bit wide, and that has cost him valuable time there. And perhaps that is the opportunity gone for him, as Keenan will be looking to try and peel away through this technical part of Watkins Glen. But actually, no, I'm mistaken there, because actually Castorina is starting to close that gap up. So he's certainly looking like the man on form right now, and certainly not going to give up without a fight. We've got currently 21 minutes left of this 6-hour race here at Watkins Glen, and it doesn't look like the drama is going to stop anytime soon. So we're really looking forward to see what could await us in the closing stages of this race. John, are you back, or? Yeah. Very important. No. Oh, wow. Yeah, certainly, John. Yeah, very smart play from Senatore there, and yeah, as long as you give the driver competing with you just that little tiny bit of space, you know, then anything is possible. And he really took advantage of the circumstances there, and let's hope that now he can start pulling away, and like John just mentioned, using the traffic in front of him to try to use that to his advantage. But But yeah, I was obviously commenting on the Keenan Castorina battle, should I say, and it is ever so close right now as we go up the hill, and they could be side by side as we go up the hill as well. Castorina, in fact, that was a funny angle there. I thought he got in front there, but Keenan just stays out in front. It does look like the BMW pulling power has just managed to keep him in front of Castorina from now. But I have to say, John, though, they've been battling and hammering tongs for many a lap now, and it's a very difficult one to call right now.
It really is. It's on an absolute knife edge. Here to go again. Yeah, apologies. I didn't unmute when I came back from a pit stop. I always double mute just in case, especially after I had a bit of a faux pas earlier. But yeah, so I'm unmuted now, so I am back, so apologies for anything you missed. It was just basically more excitement over the insanely close accident we're getting treated to. It was 16 minutes left to go. We've got cars absolutely left and right, and that is the Keezer in the background there. That car you can see in the background is the Keezer, looking to get the overtake done on Senatore. Look, there's Senatore in the BMW, that's Castorino in the Ferrari, and at the front of that group is Senatore. So it's FRL, Vesta Sport, FRL, and then the Adam Beach team with the Keezer, Beach team, sorry, with the Amadeo de Keezer behind the wheel, and what a view he's got of the battle ahead. And that just again highlights how quickly it gets dark here in New York. It's only 7:49. We've only gone about 20 minutes, 10 minutes maybe since we've seen cars coming into the pits, and it is, yeah, it's absolutely pitch black. Your braking markers will be disappearing. There'll be extra shadows that you're not quite used to with all the cars ahead of you, behind you. It really does make it a bit more of an interesting proposition. All those blue flags waving. We've got a solid train of cars here. This is absolutely insane. Who politely lets through here? There's battles for position. I mean, you were saying it's slightly different rules for blue flags in GT3s. There's even more rules when it's a battle for position that you find yourself coming up upon. And there is the Keezer flashing the lights furiously at Castorino, won't let me past, which he does. Absolute fair play there. And he's going to catch on to the back, and he's now going to try and use some slipstream. This is absolutely tantalum. This is 4D chess right here, and that's why we get excited, Sean.
Yes, indeed, yeah. It is the battle of the wits, I have to say, John. It's and yeah, fair play to Keenan. It's Keenan, isn't it? 441.
Castorino first of all, and then Keenan's just done the same thing. The FRL car's gone through, the Keezer is now going through as well, and Castorino's got right onto the back of him, and Castorino has managed to get ahead of him. Castorino's got ahead of Keenan while all that was going on. He laid the trap. He laid the trap and he sprung the trap. I don't think we're going to get to see it on the replay software because it has been absolutely throwing me under the bus recently. But we'll see if we can. So there is Castorina giving up the position. Yeah, no, you know what, we're not going to get to see this. But yeah, Sean, textbook stuff. Well, I say textbook stuff. That's not textbook stuff. That's alien technology. He lined that up absolutely beautifully, let the blue flag through, and then got the position that he was after. Stunning.
Yeah, absolutely stunning. Timing definitely was key there, and drove to perfection as well. Knew exactly what he was doing, and it's just amazing to see how everything just aligns and able to take full advantage of a situation. So, but I do suspect though that this is not done. Maybe there could be a couple of twists along the way, John.
Oh yeah, again, if I was a betting man, it would be folding money on more overtakes. The Keezer, or there's certainly going to be more action. The Keezer and Senatore, those two are back re-engaged after making their way past Keenan and Castorino. Castorino and Keenan now 2.3 seconds apart, the largest gap between them for a significant chunk of the race, and it's now down to the Keezer, who's all found almost a second through one sector there. He really is the quicker of these two cars at the moment. Senatore is going to have to be absolutely on point with his defensive strategy if he is going to keep that BMW in 4th position. Remy Lammers is going quicker than Blauwitz ahead of him as well. We've got Tom Brunel, who's done, he missed the first hour, so he's done almost 5 hours of racing single-handed. So too Henry Handy started from the beginning of the race. He's done 5 hours 48 minutes so far. 12 minutes left to go. An absolute achievement, so huge kudos to Handy and Brunel for making it to the end of the race single-handed. A phenomenal achievement, if not slightly insane. I'm in no way, shape or form recommending that anybody try it. But yeah, it's quite the feat if you could pull off. I certainly couldn't do it these days.
Hey, I'm the same as you, John.
Absolutely no chance, referee. I would have to get a note from a doctor, I think, as well as the defibrillator. The Keezer, Senatore might need a defibrillator before the end of this race. Senatore is in a BMW, which does have a decent rear spoiler cam. There we go.
Wow.
Oh my goodness me. Yeah, so there's something that I didn't spot as well. The Keezer is solo.
Oh.
Oh.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane. Nugget Box, my hugest apologies. I'm so sorry. I did not look right up at the top of the field. And yeah, no excuse, but we weren't here for the first 3 hours, so I didn't look properly at the spotter guide. I thought I looked up. I see Brunel, I see Handy. Amadeo De Keezer is solo, and he's in 5th, and he's faster than 4th. Oh, and 4th's run wide at the first corner. He's going to have to lift massively, or that's going to be a slap on the wrist from the in-game stewards if he is running low on track limit warnings. That is going to be a costly one, and it's going to be hugely costly towards the braking zone. The BMW is going to have the inside line. Amadeo De Keezer not shy of trying to get round the outside through here, although pulls it back into line. Senatore feeling the pressure a wee bit here, and the Keezer absolutely lapping it up in the closing stages, Sean. He's 5 hours and 50 minutes into a race, and he is still absolutely on point. I mean, we can permanently see the back of that BMW reflecting off the number tag on the front of the Aston Martin. That's close.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we were speaking about aliens. I think more like AI. I think, to be honest, absolute amazing feat from the Keezer. And yeah, I did suspect this, John. To be honest, in the closing stages, when it's the business end of the race and the all-important part of the race to make sure that you're on point. Yeah, it does look like that Senatore is under all sorts of pressure right now. The Keezer looking to play mind games with him, really, and see if he can force a mistake from him, or even use that slipstream to his advantage and make a move in the closing stages. He does close up to the back of Senatore as we went through turn 1. Now it is up the hill. The BMW looks like he's got a little bit more pulling power up the hill, so unless there's a complete disaster, it does look like he can hold off the Keezer for the time being. But again, John, very, very close.
It is incredibly close, yeah. Really does preach to the ability that the Keezer's got. Senatore as well, not for folding at the moment. Oh. Just right out on those track limits. It is just, yeah, incredible dedication to the lap times we've got, and chasing down that position. Carlo Barberi, who shall be named Captain Consistent henceforth. Captain Consistent Carlo. And, yeah, to be honest, his teammate Francesco Adamu. No slouch either, sorry, I can't even say that with a straight face. He's so ridiculously quick, it is a ridiculous amount of understatement involved to say something like that. Phenomenal display from the two of them. 6 hours and 53 minutes of perfection so far. And the reason we're going to stay on board with Barbary is because he's catching up to the back of the Keezer.
Oh, wow. And we were singing the praises of the Keezer, and then Barbary is just on a completely different level. And yeah, it's, to be honest, it's kind of like I know this is like a completely different sport, but it's kind of like a footballer, when you talk about centre midfielders that play a very important part of a team, but they just go unnoticed, and that's kind of like Barbary in the lead here, just chomping away lap after lap, keeping it consistent, not making mistakes, and got the all-important race lead, and comfortable as well.
Indeed, yeah, like you say, just flies under the radar. It's one of those, I can't remember which car manufacturer it was, but their tagline was, you don't know how well it works until it doesn't.
Yeah.
So there's no negative, there's no drama, there's just lap after lap after lap after lap after lap. I mean, even there's never been more than 0.3 of a second variation in their pit stop time.
Crazy.
It's absolutely bonkers. Is what it is, and it is, you're still being treated to an incredible battle here. We've still got 22 cars in the race. Tom Brunel solo in 22nd place, 4th in the Arms. Karel van Hoorn for Astro. The light is diminishing somewhat, to say the least. That is the MSR car. They've got ahead of them David Monsu for FMP Italia and Daniel Blagov just inside the top 20. Henry Handy, another soloist. Oh, he's got damage.
Oh no.
Yeah, Handy has had a bit of a pang, and I'm going to honour his efforts by not showing the crash. Javier Quintalar's Gazelle Motorsport in 17th position with Jim Emmanuel for MT Motorsport. Yeah, this Handy in the pitch. MT Motorsport on the podium in the Arms. Great drive by them. Second place, only just behind Alex Zakdal. Again, get that on the resume. Zakdal in 15th position, 14th in the pros overall with Den Braben in that phenomenal 12th position, quite frankly, with this field. Given what we've just seen from the top 10 to be the ARM team and finishing 12th, that's remarkable. Chris Barnes in 14th for TSE Dakota. I mean, I know TSE Dakota, they're no slouches. And then Braben and the gang are ahead. We've got Adweiser in 13th position, and then there is Patrick Den Braber bringing home the Gazelle Motorsport win in the Arms. Phenomenal drive for them, 12th place overall, and quite the field of drivers behind them. Remy Lammers, Gazelle Motorsport, multiple cars in the race, and a whole lot of them in the top 15, that's for sure. 11th place there, QRT Esports, 10th position with Adam Forbes ahead for Astro in 9th. Then it is Keenan and Castorino for FRL Investa. What a battle they've had. Yannick Plus bringing home the MSR car, the MSR Eterno car at 6th position, and then it is De Keyser and Senatori, everyone's favourite Aston Martin and BMW battle over the race. Ahead of them the podium, John Beaton for Gazelle, and then championship leading for a very good reason, Vestasport in second place with Castellano guiding the number 72 Ferrari, and Carlo does not miss a beat Barbary, and neither does his co-driver Francesco Adamu. Up on first place, 3.5 minutes left to go, not many laps left. Sean, we've got maybe 3 laps left to go. We've got 0.3 of a second separating Senatori from De Keyser. Do we see De Keyser go for it in the closing 3 laps?
Well, it's definitely make or break, isn't it? If you're going to make the move, he's going to have to do it as soon as possible. And yeah, they've been close for many a lap now. The gap is, well, over the timing line, it was just under 0.2 of a second, which equates to roughly a car length apart. And it's still a car length apart because at the moment the Keezer is almost being stuck like glue to the back of Senatore. I hope that he will be able to make some sort of fist of it in the closing stages here. This is as at the end of this lap, it will be as good as any opportunity that has been given to him. He's actually even closer to the back of Senatore in the BMW right now. So if he can set himself up on this final turn, which it does look like he's got, well, I was going to say he had the move on him. Immediate defensive display from Senatore, takes up the inside line. It could be a good switcheroo. Oh, contact! There's contact, I do believe, between the Keezer and Senatore. That spins him sideways into the barrier. And we may need to have a look of a replay of that, John, if possible.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think we do, because the Keezer didn't accelerate and he is going very, very, very slowly, letting a lot of traffic past. So he's about to give Senatore the position back. The Keezer at fault.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a close, that's an open and shut case right there. The Keezer absolutely gave up the ghost as soon as they made contact, backed right out of that. And yeah, if you make contact with the back of a car, whether you're on a racetrack or a road, the chances are you are on fault, even if they brake and you don't expect it, or they brake earlier than you thought. Also, this was from a bit earlier. We'll try and find another quick look at that. But yeah, can confirm that Senatore is now back ahead. The Keezer has redressed the position. He may still get a penalty, but it will be reduced because he has given back the position. So great sportsmanship and a great race between the two of them. There is no way that was a malicious attempt to spin the car in front. Clearly proven by the fact that he's given the position straight back again. So kudos to Amadeo de Keezer for not only doing this for 6 hours single-handed, finishing in 5th position, but being an absolute diamond of a sim racer and a fully welcome addition to any race that has taken part in the sim racing space. There is 9 seconds left of the race. It did say the leader was on the final lap. I do believe that is now the final lap of the race. Carlo Barberi will start it, as he has been in the number 11 car the entire race, in the lead. It has been a flawless drive by Carlo Barberi and Francesco Adamu. It's going to be a 1-2 for the team. Well deserved beating in the Gazelle. Of course, bringing home 3rd place and rounding out the podium. Then Brabber, someone did say in the chat as well, the 300 car has run a flawless race, to be honest. 0 mistakes. Keeping it on the black stuff is rewarded. The Keezer, oh there we go, that was the correct pronunciation name. BMW straight line is crazy, smiley, very gentlemanly. Indeed it was. Absolute hats off to him. Absolute hats off to him. Tried the move, didn't work out. Other drivers suffered. I'll give him the position back and we'll continue to race. Absolutely got to love it. I tell you though, any longer for Senatore to catch up. Yannick Plus was getting himself promoted the position because he ain't too far back. Remy Lammers in the pits. Remy Lammers in the pits. FRL never failing to keep us on our toes right down to the end.
Wow, the timing, John. Just that's. I've got no words on that one. But it looks like the race leader is just coming around the final 2 corners now, John.
Yes, indeed. Rounds the last corner past the pit lane entry, and championship leading Vesta Sports stamp their authority further on the Coach Dave Delta Endurance GT3 2024 season. Lights flashing, flags waving. Vesta Sport take the top spot on the podium, and Barberi and Adamu will have some company on the podium as well, because teammates Castellano and Luca Becca will be joining them there. A lot more checkered flags coming in because a lot of cars were a lap down to these absolute alien level drivers. They're a bit close to Keyser. Already back to the pits. Huge congratulations to him. There is the race leader still, Castellano, a bit down on the leader's pace, just coming through the boot complex now. Incredible amount of pace being shown. So we'll stay with Carlo Barber, and there you can see he has got a teammate there with him. And I get the feeling that we're going to see them all line up. De Keyser does have a yellow flag, don't know why, but here comes Castellano. Incredible races, we see these drivers cross the line. I mean, so much to talk about, Sean.
Yeah.
There we go.
Did you say George then?
I did say George. I started to say George because I was trying to remember exactly. Like, everything that's gone on through this race has been incredible. We've had Zach Dahl, we've had overtaking action, we've had close calls, we've had comebacks, we've had flawless drives. Nothing more than you would expect from FRL.
Yeah, indeed. It's been drama left, right and centre, to be honest, John. And, you know, to be honest, like we've been on comms for 3 hours. It didn't feel like it to me, John.
Nope.
It's been absolutely incredible, an absolute privilege to be here, John.
Yeah, what an incredible race. Let me just very quickly grab... Oh, it didn't give me the highlights. Thanks very much, ACC. There is the race results, of course, in the arms. Congratulations to them, Brabham, Winkle and Duvaloy, who had some early stints in the Ferrari. They took home the top spot in the arms. Emmanuelson and Vergao in second place. Keith Lars, De Munich and Van der Klies finishing in third. Extra shout out to Tom Brunel, did it single-handed. So too did De Keyser there in fifth. He wasn't going to be outdone by any of the arms, that's for sure. Henry Handy as well, shout out to him, 15th in the pros, with 3 arms finishing ahead of him. A 6-hour race single-handed, so too De Keyser, but it has beaten De Jong, Castellano and Becca and Barbary and Adamu that bring home the top spots in round number 8 of the Coach Dave Delta Endurance GT3 2024 Championship. Prizes up for grabs for the drivers. The podium in each of the classes, of course, receiving the 1 month Coach Dave Delta subscription, as well as 20, 12 and £8 respectively. And Vesta now looking fairly firm to receive more 1 month subscriptions for the championship win, and a share of the prize money there, 100 for first, 80, 160, 40, 30 and £20 for first through fifth respectively. The next round coming up is going to be Zolder, and after that, Sean, it is safe to say we are in for a phenomenal treat. And if you enjoy racing, you need to subscribe on the YouTube channel and go to the SimGrid page and sign up to race here at FRL. Confirmed?
Confirmed, yes, confirmed indeed, yeah. You know, not to mention the other 2 rounds, wasn't it, with Laguna Seca and Kyalami as well, to finish us off. So, yeah, a great series of circuits, I would say, John, which I can't wait for.
Yeah, it'll be absolutely incredible. And of course, I will be joining all. I think we'll see if we can get Sean in as well. I know Christian Romano, in between driving duties, will be doing some comms on it as well. But Sean, it's been an absolute pleasure having you back in the commentary box. But again, I mean, I've said it before, it seems cliched, FRL making the drivers making it easy.
Indeed, they do. It's been an absolute fantastic watch. I've been absolutely privileged to be here. Thank you so much for asking me back alongside you, John. And I wish for many more in the near future.
Yes, indeed. So does myself and the viewers. So that's going to work out perfectly. Speaking of viewers, thank you to everyone that has tuned in for today's 2 broadcasts. It was, of course, Ricky that brought us qualifying. And then, let me fix that. brought us qualifying, and then brought us the opening 3 hours and 10 minutes or so of the race. And then myself and Sean Madden bringing home the closing stages. Sean, of course, on Twitch as well, Flawed Genius Gaming. Nothing flawed about his genius, so that is slightly false advertising, but he's a nice guy, so we'll let him off with it. My name, of course, John Wright, aka Double O Raven, and we'll be back at Raven Comms for the Zolder race, so make sure you set your calendar for that. 10 hours of one of the shortest, tightest, twistiest tracks on the planet, and then we go to Laguna Seca. Happy days. So until then, we'll leave you with a closing lap for the race leader, because we didn't get the full highlights. But it is a good night from Mr. Sean Madden.
Good night, everyone.
And it is a good night from me. Stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.